Waiting here to be arrested. Footage posted to Facebook Thursday, the deranged and washed-up actress Rosie O'Donnell appears to be spray painting the World War II memorial.
It was me. I'm doing it. I did it. It's on camera.
The video goes on to show a woman put something in the water that causes it to bubble. Police at this hour have not yet confirmed whether they've seen the video obtained by Fox 5 or made any arrests. Waiting
What's
here to
up,
be arrested.
everybody? I got a bunch of cute videos to play that I had built up for the past couple days. I'm going to play them before we get into the news. They're really good. Just so everyone knows, it started thunderstorming here about 20 minutes ago. I've lost power 3 times. So if it goes out, it started to show start. Why do my glasses look weird? It started, so I started to show, so it should be fine. It should be fine. If it goes out again, I'll just have to restart it. But it's basically it's just the whole house power goes out for a second, then a generator kicks in, and then I can get restarted. So it's like a whole thing, and then it kicks back off again when the power goes back on. So let's hope it goes running. And before I do that, even let's just say, hey, Ag, what's up? Thank you. 1,000 joules of goat trophy. I believe that's $10. I believe that is $10. So that would mean right now, folks, we are just 90 away from adding a first additional hour and only 40 away from television. So thank you so much, Ag. Thank you. And yes, the show operates on your guys' generosity. The show goes as long as you guys want it to go. For every $100 in total that comes in across all platforms, YouTube Super Chats, Rumble Rants, becoming a member or gifting a membership on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, Twitch, and Locals, along with Locals coins, Cash App, PayPal, Coffee, Ko-Fi, and Super Tips, we add it all up and we hit 100. Why are my glasses so crooked? What is going on here? Or is it my hat? I think it's my hat that's crooked. It's making my, I don't know. I feel weird with a hat on. So we add it all up and we hit 100. We add an extra hour for each additional 100 that comes in. We add another additional hour to the show. When we hit 50, we activate Bellavision. But if somebody's so generous that they donate a cumulative total of $25 or greater, so it doesn't have to be all at once. I'll add it up. If somebody hits 25, we automatically activate Bellavision there. And that could be like a Cash App, a PayPal, Super Tip, Super Chat, Rumble Rant, or it could be 5 gifted memberships on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, or Twitch. Anything like that would automatically activate Bellavision for the evening. Let's see who's here real quick. We got American Dreamers here. What's up? Iowa Backyard Cams, Shadow Wings. What's up? Sylvia, Miss Hacker, Lady Bama, Mary's here. None your business. Rob's here. What's up? Boop, 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 boop. Yes, my power has gone out 3 times. I hope it doesn't go out again. S.E. Gatlin's here. Jay Schwartz, what's up? Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better. Hey, so glad you're feeling better. Yeah, I'm feeling a little better. Thank you so much. H.J. Remy, how you doing? S.J. Schwartz, good to see you. Steve's here. What's up, Steve? Karen O's here, too. How you doing? Jonathan, what's up, buddy? Nice to see you. Gypsy, what's up? Good to see you. I just started the show, yeah. G Sharkman's here. AI can't spell. No, it's terrible at spelling. You are weird, Jim. I am weird. I feel weird. You sound well. You're feeling better. Yeah, it's 86 here going through some cooler trend. That's good. Jim probably lost 10 pounds. I did. I'm down to 190 now. Down to 190. It's crazy. I'm still like every 5 to 6 hours, I still have like I'll feel flushed and I have to run to the bathroom, but it's not like every hour, or 2 hours, whatever. So it's up to like every 5, 6 hours. So I should make it through a whole show. We'll see what happens, but I'll definitely, if I have to go, I'll just do something and then I'll leave. But yeah, let's play another quick little video that I really thought was good here. Let's see. That's pretty good, right? Oh, look at Bernie Ilhan. That's a great one, right? That's a good one, isn't it? You got food poisoning once. It's a radical experience. Yeah, it is. It's pretty bad. Then I got this other one here, which I thought was really good. I hope. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see.
The prosecution is not going to get that man today. No. Because I'm going to get him. That so-called doctor, Dr. Anthony Fauci, should go right to fucking jail. The son of a bitch is guilty. He's responsible for killing millions of people. He's a piece of shit. Man there, that man is a slime. He is a slime. I plead the fifth. If he is allowed to go free, then something really wrong is going on here. This entire system is completely broken, and you all know it. Mr. Musk, you are out of order. You're out of order. You're out of order. That man, that sick, crazy, depraved man, knew the bullshit vaccines and COVID were sham. This fucking piece of shit knew. He's no doctor. No. He's a mass murderer.
Isn't that good? That is awesome, isn't it? That is what AI is for. Why is my camera? Everything is off. Everything's all misadjusted. I got a shadow because of my hat. You can't see my face. It's crazy. Would love to see this for reals. Yes, Hollywood should make this movie. Yeah, we know where the slimes go. Yes. And I have to announce that Ag donated another 15 on Cash App. So that means we did hit Bellavision. So we have Bellavision for the whole evening now, thanks to Ag. Thank you so much. So there we go. We're 75 away now, just 75. Yes, I only like AI for this. Here, yes. Why the hat? I don't know, because the hat matched my shirt. So I don't know. Should I take the hat off? I guess I could take the hat off, right? It matched my shirt. I feel better now. Oh. Who needs Hollywood? Yeah, who needs Hollywood? Okay, so we're going to jump right in, folks, to the first news story of the evening. Does that sound good to you? It sounds good to me. All right. Louis Mangione was pled guilty today. Thank you, Ag. That's right. He pled guilty today, and his lawyer, defense attorney, came out and delivered a shocking response, saying that the court mistreated him. All right. And she seemingly says that the murder was justified because he suffered a broken back and felt betrayed by the medical insurance system. He endured years of debilitating pain because of a broken back while struggling to navigate the healthcare system. So this is ridiculous. It really is.
With today's guilty plea, Mr. Mangione has accepted full responsibility for the death of Brian Thompson, arising from the events of December 4th, 2024, outside of the United Healthcare Investor Conference here in Midtown Manhattan. It was a single tragic event, yet he's being prosecuted twice for the same conduct. As Luigi explained in court today, he endured years of severe, debilitating pain following a broken back while struggling to navigate our healthcare and health insurance systems. Like the thousands of people who've reached out since this tragedy to share their own experiences, he believed that the system had failed him and destroyed his life. Despite this being a single isolated event, Mr. Mangione has been unfairly treated since the outset in every way and has successfully fought off terrorism charges and the death penalty, while also fighting at the same time 2 simultaneous prosecutions in 2 jurisdictions who are trying to punish him twice for the exact conduct. He's been treated differently from
The debate
every
was a
other
stinker.
defendant charged with this offense in New York. However, thankfully, New York law does not allow this. New York law does not permit a person to be prosecuted and punished twice for the exact same crime under a statute that governs.
No, see, here's the problem. It's not the same crime. They said they couldn't charge him with murder federally because it didn't happen on federal property. So they charged him with the federal crime of stalking. He's being charged with murder in New York. So it's not the same crime, lady. Keep dreaming. Keep dreaming. Hey, Kelly, thanks for being here. America First, good to see you. What's with the twisted martyrdom theory? That's what they got to do. They got to do. When he gets out, there'll be a book and a movie deal. Yeah, probably. I don't think he's ever getting out, though. I don't. I mean, New York is going to charge him with murder. They're not going to dismiss the case. If they do, the fix is in.
Successive prosecutions. It's also known as the double jeopardy law.
It's not double jeopardy.
Today's guilty plea triggers this statute, and we just filed our motion in state court explaining why the state charges must be dismissed under New York's double jeopardy protections.
It's not going to happen because he didn't get charged. He wasn't federally charged with murder. So it's not the same crime. That's like saying if you steal a bunch of money, they can't charge you for violating state laws and federal laws. Sounds kind of weird. He'll be a millionaire. I don't know. They can't. Supposedly, New York has Son of Sam laws where he can't make any money. So they have that. The whole Son of Sam laws is a New York thing. So, and now we'll hear from the prosecutor. Wait, what? Why is this not working? This is supposed to be a video. Why do I pay you, Epoch Times, for a subscription, and you're going to do this and not work? Oh, God. I guess we're not going to watch it because for whatever reason that it's not working. That's just great. Oh, well. Oh, well. That's why I'm glad I pay. I'm glad I pay for the Epoch Times subscription. Yeah. Hey, Gundam, what's up? How you doing? Indonesia's getting earthquake hammered. Oh, wow. I already did refresh. It's like they're really stuck. If he pled guilty, does that mean he got a plea deal? No, they're saying there was no plea deal. They're saying he just pled guilty. So he's going to take whatever it is. So Mangione pled guilty. I knew what I was doing.
Mangione, I knew what I was doing, and he officially has pleaded guilty. And the judge has now accepted it. I want to get first reaction from you, James.
Yeah. Powerful. I don't think any of us expected this a couple of days ago. Obviously, his defense team is trying to do their best for him in this position. But what he's done now is he's basically laid out premeditation, the motivations, and the steps that he took to get this done by making the ghost gun on the 3D printer, following and looking up online to find out where Brian Thompson was going to be. And the fact that he was a CEO of a large healthcare corporation was the reasoning behind it.
All right.
All right. Let's see here. So No, that's them. That's them. I'm trying to get this. I guess. Why can't I find the video? What did he say? All right, I guess this is the best I could do for him.
But we live in a civilized society governed by the rule of law. We debate, we disagree, we protest. We do not commit murder.
Hey, what's up, Regine?
No
Great to
grievance,
see you.
political belief, or ideological cause can ever justify murder. There can be no celebrity in assassination. Any person who celebrates, encourages, or excuses actions like these is fundamentally wrong. The second shot came as Mr. Thompson turned and faced the defendant. Mangione attempted to send a public message through violence, but the message that emerges today is very different. Violence is not a legitimate instrument to promote any political or social message. And those who resort to violence in an effort to advance their beliefs will be prosecuted, convicted, and put in jail. But we live in a civilized society.
No, I haven't seen the video of the memorial vandal crying. If you want to send it to me, I'll play it. It's a little later story there. I want to see this. Alex Bird, explosive bid to blow up murder case hinging on DNA, dirty money, lies, expert. Oh, I got it. That's a good one there, I think. That's a good one I'm going to have to see. So back here. So attorneys speak. We saw their attorneys speak. So that's that one. Let's see here. Luigi Man. I want to thank everybody who came over from Robert Gravea. Thank you for being here. Crying is at the bottom. Thank you. Thanks for the raid, Robert Gravea. It's greatly appreciated. I have a whole bunch of stories lined up. Hopefully we hit some goals and we get some extra hours and we get through probably 50, 60 stories tonight. It would be nice, wouldn't it? It'd be great. Yes, please, if you've never been here before, please consider it to hit the like button and maybe subscribing to the channel. It would be graciously appreciated. I'm greatly appreciated. I would graciously appreciate it greatly. Ever so much. Ooh, CCP intelligence official buys a building. I saw that yesterday. I did. I saw that yesterday. That's crazy. So yeah, Luigi Mangione pleads guilty to a federal prison sentence. So yeah, he just that's it. He gunned him down. He was gunned down by CNN's It Boy. Same thing from the Post. Their lawyers leave the courtroom after guilty plea and basically trying to blame it on his bad back and saying, he was upset about, he was really upset about a bunch of stuff. Not to murder. That's right. He didn't plead guilty to murder. It's going to be a long night for you. 3.5 hours of Andrew Wilson versus Candace Owens. Honestly, I watched that debate. It was a waste of time. Like, all Candace did was speak as fast as possible, not answer any fucking questions or defend anything. So, whatever. It's nuts. So let's see. So we'll get to before we get to the next story, real quick. We'll watch the crazy lady crying. Yeah, Mangione. So after years of enduring pain and a broken back and obstacles, he had to do something. So he killed a guy that he never had insurance with or anything. Oh, look at how they blur it so you can't really see. Those who resort to violence in an effort to advance their beliefs will be prosecuted, convicted, and put in jail. Well, we shall see. This guy got murdered for, I don't know, for running a company. So Oh, look at there's an Antifa symbol over here. Someone's wearing. What's with the Antifa symbol? That's odd, isn't it? Manhattan District Attorney Albert Bragg's office said it was ready to fight against the argument and urged the state judge to move forward. While federal sentencing is pending, we're prepared to litigate the defense motions. Mangione has been set to begin a federal trial in January. Interstate stalking resulting in death and stalking through the use of interstate facilities. An earlier charge of federal murder was dismissed. So he was never tried for murder in federal court. So family members of Brian Thompson, it's crazy. Mangione revealed to court that he posed as an investor in order to find out where he was. Wow, they need to work on their. We live in a civilized society governed by the rule of law. We debate, we disagree, we protest. We do not commit murder. No grievance or ideological issue can justify murder. Well, so he penned a manifesto and all this. So we saw this. I don't know. This guy is a shitbag, and he gets what he deserves, in my opinion. He gets. But that was the point. People in her chat and PBG chat and Andrew's chat were saying they liked her, but she's psychotic. Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, taking out the CIA doesn't do much for an insurance company because insurance companies are run by shareholders on the board. Yeah, it's crazy. It is. Wow. It's crazy. Wow. It's crazy. I just. Mhm. All right. So listen, this crazed woman filmed herself. Make me look fancy. Spread us everywhere. And then cried. Wow. Kentucky woman. Oh, some crazy people out of Kentucky. Look at this. So she filmed herself spray painting the National World War II Memorial. It's me. It was me. I'm doing it. I'm on camera. She said, live streaming it. In her Facebook post, she asked viewers to edit her footage. Make me look fancy. Get it all over the internet. Wow.
Watch what VapoRub does to your brain.
So I was watching YouTube a few weeks back and I came across this. If I were to die tomorrow, I'd want everyone suffering from memory loss to know about this honey recipe. It might
Oh, nobody even cares. Look, nobody cares. Why doesn't anybody care? This is unreal. I can hang aside. It was me. Unreal. Oops. Like, that's nobody's coming to arrest me. That's even fucking weirder. What is wrong with this place? It's nuts. I'm here. I done did it. Thought I was joking.
So this is her whole video. All right. All right. So this isn't the video of her crying. So, hey, what's up, King of Biltong? How you guys doing? You know what makes your have good memory and makes your brain work really well is if you get yourself some biltong, some high quality biltong meats from Anton and his lovely wife and family at www.biltongusa.com. That's right. If you head over there, all right, and you get yourself some biltong and maybe get some for your friends because they do have these 8-ounce bags that make excellent gifts. And you use promo code JIM, you'll save 10%. If you know somebody who likes a little bit of spice, get them some peri peri. If they like a lot of heat, then get them the Carolina Reaper or the Ghost Pepper. Yeah. And check out the Cabanasi and the Drawers too, along with the other snakes. Damn it. Why do I keep doing that? Cakes, candies, snacks, and cookies. That's right. So get on over to www.biltongusa.com and tell them Jim sent you for 10% off. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I can't believe I can't believe I screwed that up. I can't believe I keep screwing that up. Let me find this crazy lady crying. What's it say? It says It says the Viva and Barnes sauces just went live on our website. Same place you get biltong. Now you can get some real clean label sauces. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, black label sauces. I like that. Yeah, nobody cared because they were all fucking foreigners, probably. Where's her crying? Is this her? Oh, here's her crying. This is the one I wanted to see. Judge Janine isn't going to let her get off. Well, I hope not. I got to listen to another commercial.
If you are diabetic, or we'll get rid of this disease forever. This is the strangest method I have ever seen to.
My fellow patriots, the first thing the
you don't look good
leftists do,
like
they
this
want to
lately,
silence you.
Alex. I don't know.
It's me. I'm going to turn myself in. That said, I don't go to the district federal court. So, I don't know where anybody goes in that, because I've never been in this position before.
Oh, well, you break the law.
Really stupid things alone.
Do the crime, you got to do the time.
I didn't want to go to jail.
You're going to jail.
Oh.
You are going to jail.
I'm just trying to do the right thing.
It's not the right thing. You broke the
I was
law.
just trying to get people to listen. I tried to turn in evidence. I tried to reach the media.
Oh.
I tried to fight back. I tried to ignore it. I got different jobs to feel safer. I wake up every day without my dogs. I literally lived in a paper-thin camper that I boarded up on the inside with cardboard just to be a little warmer during the winter.
Oh, okay. So that made your crimes better?
And they would watch me pull cardboard out of the trash. I'm supposed to have federal protections. And they brought me back from Pennsylvania when I fled and gave me a phone. They paid for a hotel room for a night and then brought me all the way back. But they got my brakes and killed an animal in front of me. Terrified. I've been followed with military aircraft. If that's protecting me without giving me clear communication as a person that's asked for it endlessly, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. But please, I'm trying to do the right thing. I was just trying to scream loud enough somebody would help me. Oh, I thought I was going to be able to be safe, and nobody would listen to me, and that will drive somebody mad all by itself. I'm at the courthouse. I believe I'm in Alexandria, Virginia. This is where the courthouse is. If this isn't where I'm going to be, this is where I'm at right now, and I'll try again. Please, other people, let people know that I did try to do the right thing for a long time now. But I will fight with me with every breath I have. I love myself.
You're going to prison.
And if somebody doesn't listen, or everybody turns a blind eye to somebody being attacked, it's not.
Who the fuck's attacking you? You're the one out here doing this crazy shit, lady.
So, I'm going to find out where I go.
Jail. Going to jail.
Is there a police department?
Is there a police department?
Oh, well, we'll ask somebody inside.
Wow.
Yes. Thank you. So, hello.
Yeah, I don't buy her story.
I'm
She's a
trying
liar.
to find where I can turn myself in.
Turn yourself in?
Yes.
This would probably be it.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna.
Did he just say this is the VA? It sure sounded like he said this is the VA. So Janine Pirro, U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro announced that Ferris has been charged with willfully injuring or committing degradation against federal property, destruction of a veterans memorial. Each charge carries a potential sentence of up to 10 years in federal prison. She won't have to worry about living in a cardboard tin can of a RV anymore. She's going to have a nice, warm, cozy bed in a federal prison. There you go. Yeah, never trust anyone who selfies their cry session. You ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. It's what's up. Toast the king of Biltong. There you go. Playing Tainted Love as it is crazy, isn't it? And that's the World War II veterans' fault. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? You broke the law. What part of you don't understand? You broke the law. That's right. She got some hard miles on her. Yes, she does. Some more entertaining news. Mm-hmm. She needs to ask her demon rat handlers for more money. Yeah, well, that's that could be where she's going to need to get something, but probably not going to happen. Not going to happen. All right. Oh, we saw this teacher weeping because they can't read and write. Yeah, I saw that. It's crazy. That's a crazy story. Crazy story. All right, let's get this next one here. So this is good news here, folks. Good news here, folks. Gun Owners of America announces that it's our mission to protect and restore the right of the people to keep and bear arms. I want to say thank you to President Trump and Congressman Clyde and every 2A activist who helped make this possible. That's right. As Fox News reports that gun right advocates are celebrating a huge legal win after a judge ruled that the firearms restriction is unconstitutional. This is the first time in 92 years that any gun owner has been able to do this. That's right. And what are they going to be able to do? Well, this right here. Brandon Herrera, the future congressman from Texas, says, it was a privilege to be part of this amazing moment in Second Amendment history. She's going to the same jail that the January 6ers went. Yeah, it's crazy, right? The D.C. court will be very kind to her. That's the sad state of affairs that you're probably right. She's probably going to be shielded and protected and coddled. And coddled is the crazy part. Coddled. And it's just nuts, man. It's nuts. It really is. Nuts. It's knuckin' futz. It really is. It's official. Silencer Shop completed the first lawful unregistered suppressor transfer since June 26, 1934.
And these are the second two. Let's go. Appreciate that.
Wow. That's good news. Good news. Yeah. It's still illegal in California. Seriously, possession is a felony. It's crazy. Yeah. So massive Second Amendment win. That's right, folks. Judge strikes down 92-year-old silencer restriction. No ATF registration, no Form 4, no permission slip from the feds. Gun right advocates are celebrating a monumental victory for the Second Amendment after a federal judge ruled key National Firearms Act restrictions unconstitutional. See, now it's my belief that the entire National Firearms Act is unconstitutional. Like, it's a crazy, crazy thing that law has been able to survive this long. It should have been struck down long ago. Long ago. Should have been struck down. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, woulda. Should have been struck down long ago. Two gun owners walked out of silencer shop with suppressors without completing the federal registration and approval process. Yep, it's official. We saw that already. It's 12:01 a.m. AK Guy and West Verdell are purchasing the first unregistered suppressors. It's kind of a very based, ballsy move by Brandon Herrera because he's running for Congress, you know. I mean, I don't know. I think it would be very bad on the Trump administration if they went after him, but, you know, someone might. Yeah, it's the first time that a gun owner's been able to do this. Previously, this would have been punishable by up to 10 years in federal prison, a $250,000 fine. Just think about that. If you don't get the government's permission before you exercise your right that's guaranteed in the Constitution, it's 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. Just think about it. That's insane. That's insane. The recipients were GOA members Brandon Herrera and Texas State Representative Wes Verdell. Silencer Shop had formally notified the Trump administration, the Justice Department, and the ATF of their plans, and federal authorities did not object. Did not object. did not object. So Representative Andrew Clyde, who authored the legislation that zeroed out the text. See, here's the thing, too, is Congress tried to get rid of the entire registration. That was in the bill. The big, beautiful bill was getting rid of the registration, basically just completely getting rid of it. The, what's it called? The parliamentarian in the Senate said, oh, you can't do that because this has nothing to do with taxes, even though it did. So they said, okay, fine, we'll just zero out the we'll just zero out the money then, which is the same thing. So it's gone. He was president. He confirmed the Justice Department is not going to appeal the decision. Clay later announced he received direct confirmation from the Trump administration that DOJ would not challenge the ruling. Thank you, President Trump and Attorney General Blanche, for delivering the most significant Second Amendment win in over 90 years. See, now what has to happen, though, is the DOJ has to formalize and say, yeah, this is no longer, we're going to basically say this is unconstitutional. We're going to get rid of it. That's it. Blah, blah, blah. So that's what has to happen. So Andrew Clyde, I've received confirmation the Trump administration will not appeal the victory against the NFA. Thank you, President Trump. What they should do also is say, hey, this Hughes Amendment thing, this is no, this is not a Texas law. This is federal law. This is the NFA is federal law, the National Firearms Act. So it's going to take a little while for other people to be able to do it. But basically what it's going to be, if you want to buy a suppressor or a short barrel rifle, a short barrel shotgun, or what's known as any other weapon in AOW, you're just going to have to go through the standard background check that you would to buy any other gun. There's no reason for them to have it registered. It doesn't make any sense. The government should not be registering who owns what. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Clyde gave the speech. So here's Representative Clyde giving a speech.
I'm Congressman Andrew Clyde from Georgia's 9th District, and I wrote the legislation that allowed this beautiful day to happen. Literally the greatest Second Amendment win in the history of our country is what I believe. I want to thank Silencer Shop as part of the lawsuit. I want to thank GOA, who really assisted me in the writing of the legislation and in the leading of the lawsuit as well. I want to thank President Trump for making sure that the budget reconciliation bill that carried this incredible legislation made it through and got signed into law. This is a monumental day for the country. It's a monumental day for the Second Amendment, and I'm just proud to be part of it. And I want to thank some colleagues like Chip Roy and Josh Burchine and Ralph Norman and Jason Smith and Jody Arrington and the leadership of the House that helped make this happen, and Senator Daines in the Senate who made it happen over there too. So thank you very much. What an incredible opportunity. What an incredible day. This is a huge win for America.
It is. It is a huge win. You guys don't realize this could be actually, yeah, this is a BFD. It is a big fucking deal. It is. This is the first step to getting rid of the Hughes Amendment. This really is. The Hughes Amendment needs to go. Why? This is, why is it that you have to be a millionaire to buy a machine gun? Because that's basically what it is. The cheapest fully automatic, whatever select fire gun that you can get is like a Mac 10, Mac 11, or an Uzi, and you're still going to spend close to 10 G's, 10 grand to get one. If you want an actual M16, it's 25 grand. You want an MP5, 25, 30 grand. You want, something, you want an M60 or something, 80 grand. This is crazy. There is only one M249 saw on the registry, and it sold for over $500,000 the last time because it's the only one that you can own legally. It's crazy. It's crazy. Hey, Snake Eater, thanks for coming back, man. Yeah, finally a federal judge that can read and comprehend. So, yeah, this is good news, I think. I think this is great news. Yeah, and, Gun Owners of America is really what the NFA was supposed to be. It really is. So the judge said that Silencer Shop in a consolidated case said that by eliminating the $200 tax, it no longer fell within a power enumerated to Congress in the Constitution. Basically, if you're You're not taxing it. And that was your whole purpose. The entire NFA is in the tax code. The entire law is part of the tax code. So if it's not a tax, it's not a nothing. Yes. You need to renew your membership in GOA. Oh, man. They're doing the Lord that. Honestly, Gun Owners of America and FPC Firearms Policy Coalition are the two greatest organizations we got. The greatest civil rights organizations we have. I don't like the NRA, really. I mean, they've done some stuff, but honestly, the NRA, in my opinion, is the reason we ended up with the Hughes Amendment. The NRA did that. The NRA allowed the Hughes Amendment to get into law in the 80s. So because the NFA doesn't generate any revenue from untaxed firearms, its regulatory provisions cannot be upheld under the taxing power. So the fight is far from over. The injunction is limited to the parties covered, and it does not instantly erase every state restriction. Next, we must ensure that this is applied nationwide and made permanent by rulemaking. You can count on me to get it right, says Representative Clydes. So NRA is worthless, has been for a long time. Yeah. The GOA is doing what the NRA couldn't or wouldn't do. I would say wouldn't do. The NRA was always run by a bunch of FUDs, like, oh, they don't like them scary black rifles. They don't like this. The NRA was run by people that say, why do you need that? That was the NRA. You don't need that. You don't need that for hunting. You don't need that for hunting. Hunting ain't nowhere in the Second Amendment. Won't this make things easier for Mangione? No, this has nothing to do with Mangione. Honestly, Miss Hacker, you can, anyone who wants to make any of these things themselves and break the law can do it. It's not hard to make some of these items. It's really not. I mean, they just arrested a 12-year-old for making a gun all by himself. Hey, Karen, what's up, man? Good evening, my fellow anti-communists. Great to see you. What's this, AOC student debt still is unpaid? Oh, there you go. Of course it is. She needs money to freeze those eggs. That's what she needs. That's what she needs, that money. The NRA got bloated and compromised and lost its way. It sure did. The DOJ's decision not to appeal is a historic win. We must ensure this is applied nationwide. That's good. Good news. Great news. Yeah. And then plaintiffs in the NFA challenge pressed the DOJ for clarification after the injunction takes effect. As of Thursday, certain people could buy suppressors without a Form 1. While the attempt to tax stamp died, we still have those products registered with the feds to avoid breaking out in handcuffs. However, a federal court ruled with the tax dawn that it's unconstitutional. At least it's on one on paper. Right now, it's very confusing. The Second Amendment Foundation, which is one of the plaintiffs, asked the DOJ for clarification. So we share in the Liberty community's excitement for the receipt of this permanent injunction that the government did not seek to have the initial stay extended. With this massive first steps, the elements of the NFA struck down now in hand, we need guidance from the government. Will the government be providing guidance to its regulated entities and individuals how to plans to ensure compliance? If the government will be providing guidance, what form will it take? Does the government intend to continue enforcing the enjoined provisions against entities not covered by the injunction? Here's the thing. If it's unconstitutional, it's unconstitutional, and they can't enforce it against anybody. You know what I'm saying? They just can't. So the DOJ should step in and say, hey, we're not going to enforce this at all. 4473 is retained by the gun shop as long as it's in business. I thought 7 years. Are you sure it's as long as you're in business? I believe it's 7 years. They wanted them to do that, but that got struck down, that new rule about the in business or whatever it is. They had the Biden administration tried to do some new rule, basically some kind of new rule about being in the business of firearms business or whatever rule, and they were trying to screw everybody over. Forever? No, I think it's I thought it's 7 years. I think it's 7 years. I believe it's 7 years. Oh, you guys can't read it, sorry. Plaintiffs met with counsel over the course of the day for their best move for their members. It's much better to get answers straight from the source than rely on second or third hand information, which is good. forever and transfer to the ATF when they go out of business? Are you sure? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. There's a constitutional issue. We know that the court ruled that the registration is unconstitutional. The fact that DOJ didn't appeal hints that they agree on some level. They're fine with allowing some people to avoid this enforcement. While it's an objective standard, it's the case of enforcing laws not on some level the DOJ seems to know are unconstitutional. Yeah, they can't. If they know it's unconstitutional, they can't. They can't. They take oaths to uphold the Constitution, so you can't enforce laws that are unconstitutional. As it stands, there's a lot of organizations that are plaintiffs in the case, a lot of groups that are affiliated. So, yeah. So in the plain language, if you're a current member, this is a good reason to keep your membership from lapsing. If you join that as a new member, you're automatically covered. We filed the lawsuit last year because it was the right thing to do. So, as noted Thursday, the NRA is affiliated with the Texas Rifle Association, but that doesn't mean NRA members are automatically covered. My home state of Georgia was party to this. Does everybody in Georgia enjoy protection? Well, that's the thing, too. There were some states that were part of the lawsuit, so there's questions that need to be asked. The ATF gets the 4473 only when the shop goes out of business. Yeah, when the shop goes out of business, but I thought the shop only had to hold them for 7 years. Oh, judge lifts block of termination of TPS after Ogles files for his, I don't know. Other than the forms that one bitch man to take pictures of while the owner left the room. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, they were ATF agents were doing that. They were taking pictures of forms they weren't supposed to, and then using it to create like a searchable database or something like that, which is crazy, man. It's just crazy. It's crazy. President Trump and Republicans across the country are doing everything they can to protect the Second Amendment. Well, that's good. Then we'll jump back to this real quick about Luigi Mangione's twisted fans unapologetically still support him after the guilty plea. They say it was a revolutionary act of a protest. What's up, Super Tiso? I just wanted to say I still can't believe they got Luigi to make him confess, whomever they are. You don't think Luigi did it? I believe this was their lawyers think that this is a way for him to avoid the murder case. They think they have like a legal technicality trick that they could say, oh, you can't prosecute us now in state court. I think that's what they believe. It's not, I don't think it's going to work though. So here we go. So they call it a revolutionary act of protest.
That he murdered someone regardless of why he did it? Everyone has a different opinion, and I'm not going to say it was wrong or right because I do think I exist within a gray area of the opinions around this case, but I see it more as a revolutionary act of protest, of the likes of which we haven't seen since the civil rights era. My reactions in court, relief, I guess is the word. I think for a very long time, people have ascribed this idea that supporters are painting him out to be guilty by having conversations about the healthcare industry. So to no longer have to fight that battle is satisfying and relieving. He has a lot of battles to fight. I want him to be happy and healthy, but I want America to continue questioning, our current predicaments and why we allow our futures to be stolen away by oligarchs.
Oligarchs. These people are all, honestly, we need to do something with these people. We really do. They're still fanning the flames. Luigi Mangione's twisted legion of fans are unapologetic. They support murder. You guys better realize these people will kill you. They'll murder you and your family because they think it's a protest. They believe, by any means necessary. Haven't you heard that? The DSA, they're commies. Yeah, that's what they believe. They can't say murder's wrong. Yeah, they can't say it. What is wrong with those people? They're nuts, Jenny. They're nuts. They're nuts. Doesn't that make everyone who supports him a terrorist? I would say so. I would say so. Well, that Super Tiso, here's your problem is they get to define what rich is. And that would they'll you own a house? You own a car? Oh, you own stuff. Apologies, customers. What does that mean? Yeah, they're nuts. The fanatics gathered outside the courthouse after he copped a guilty plea. Look at them all. There's some weird people, man. I also hold the I'm also a black man card. Oh, okay. Yes. Commies kill a lot of the poor. That's right. That's right. They don't care. I want to know why that guy has an Antifa thing on us. See, they got a guy with Antifa. They got Antifa symbols on him. What's up with that? They see it as a revolutionary act of protest. A lot of people die in revolutions. Just saying. Another Mangione superfan brushed off the death as small potatoes. Oh, what do you know? So that's who these people are. All right, next story. Trump says that the U.S. is going to declare the Strait of Hormuz is now under U.S. control.
In declaring the Strait of Hormuz under American territory. And actually, you know what? I just thought of this. Why are we even calling it the Strait of Hormuz? Horrible name. What about the Strait of Harmony? That's good. I like that. The Strait of Harmony. Beautiful, peaceful. Everybody gets along. And if they don't, well, kaboom.
Wow, that's crazy, isn't it? Isn't that nuts? All right. President Trump says he's going to declare the Strait of Hormuz as a territory of the United States. Essentially, that's what it is. We have to blockade the ships. We're going to get what we want. All right.
And after we finish defeating Iran, which is being very badly defeated, pretty soon I'll be declaring the Hormuz Strait a territory of the United States. Essentially, that's what it is. We have the blockade. No ships get through unless we want them to. But, and how about Venezuela? Venezuela was a one-day war. And now we work great with them. We've taken in millions and millions of barrels of oil. But we're doing really good. We're doing good in every way. You know, I built the military, and now I used it a little bit more than I wanted to, frankly, but that's okay, because we cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. Do we agree? Can't let it.
There was, I saw that story. I had it the other day. It was, there was fights and stuff. There was a lot of weird stuff happening on the ship, fighting and stuff like that. And some people, I don't know. There was coming, there were like third-hand reports. I haven't seen anything that's coming from anybody that was actually on the Lincoln yet. Everything was coming from like, I talked to a guy who talked to a guy whose brother was on the ship. So we'll have to see. We'll have to, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Bad. Oh yeah, bad. I don't know if it was the bad lettuce or if it was the jalapenos or the cilantro, because I've seen reports that all that stuff, I don't know. It was something. It was something bad. I had Mexican food, and it was something green that did it. Put it that way. So Pete Hegseth says that the U.S. will hold the blockade as long network TV was all over the story. Well, that doesn't really mean anything, does it? You jump from the deck and you're dead when you hit the water or severely messed up. They wouldn't be able to hide that. Stories are ridiculous. Yeah. It's like jumping off a 10-story building. It's like almost 150 to 180 feet above the water. Yes, the Mexicans are poisoning our food. Yeah, they poisoned me. Currently, there are around 9 ships a day going through the strait. Insurance companies won't insure the ships going through if they're going to be fired at by Iran. Yeah, well, that's why we have to stop them from firing. We'll have to see. So Secretary Ward touted the wall of steel, emphasizing the U.S.'s ironclad blockade has ensured control over the Strait of Hormuz. Yes, recalls on lettuce, guacamole, and on salsa. That's why I don't know which one it was, because I had steak tacos with cilantro and onions, along with lettuce, cheese, and tomato, and guacamole and salsa on it. So I don't know what it was. It was something, but it got me. PBDs seem to half-ass get into it halfway through. Did look like he enjoyed the fact check clips. Yeah. China is paying Mexico to poison our food. Yeah, probably. Millions and millions of barrels of oil. That's why gas is so high. Yes, I know it's still cheaper than when Biden was in office. I still support Trump, but I still have questions. Oh, I do too. You're getting hungry, Doc? Can I interest you in some freshly made chocolate pudding? You hadn't heard about the salsa? Yeah, the salsa too. Because it was jalapenos. So you got an avocado issue, a cilantro issue, a jalapeno issue, and a lettuce issue. So while speaking on the USS Gridley, Hexa said that the president still has all the options on the table to ensure that we have that we keep this maniacal regime from having a nuclear weapon. We make sure that every ship, every crew, and every captain has everything we can provide them at every single moment. So as someone who's not been on a ship like that and these deployments, I feel it. If you want to go home like everyone else does, I want folks rotated as quickly as possible. Yeah, so that's that's what we want to see. Oh man. What is this? This is not the story. What happened? So Secretary Scott Bessent calls out the Democrats over Iran, says they're uninformed and insane.
By the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, with us. And, sir, it's good to have you back on the show. I want to start right there where we just left off. The socialist movement that seems to be, in a way, taking over the Democrat Party. Cost of living is fueling a lot of this, as you know, in this country. And despite a lot of positive economic news, there's still a feeling from a lot of people that things are too expensive. I think it's kind of fueling what we're seeing here. How do we get rid of that liability, before we vote again here in November? How do we ease that so this movement kind of dies out?
Rob, good to be with you. And look, this comes up all the time. We spent 45, 50 years fighting communism, the Soviet Union, which collapsed. Show me where it's ever worked before, whether it's the Soviet Union, Cuba, Venezuela. And these policies, you always end up with less. You always end up with less of what people want. And look, people should be upset. The Biden administration torched them. It was 21.5% unemployment, 4 or 5% loss of purchasing power. Wages didn't keep up. And for working Americans, I think the inflation level is probably 30 or 35% for things like autos, insurance, rent. And we've been trying to bring those down. Core inflation printed 2 days ago, 2.5%, was a very good number, moving towards the Fed's 2%. The Iran conflict has given us a temporary spike in energy prices. We're going to get to the other side of this and come down. And what we've seen over the past year is that the bottom 25% of working Americans, their wages were up 5.5%. Overall wages were up above 4%. And look, 3.5% headline inflation. That's a real wage gain. It's not great, but a lot of times I tell people, I feel like an emergency room doctor. The patient came in, he'd been backed over by a truck.
Take care, Tiso.
And the first thing we had to do was stabilize the patient. And now we've applied the right medicine and things are getting better slowly. And I think every week we are seeing real wage gains. Prices are coming down. The CPI numbers showed drug prices are down. Grocery prices have flattened out. Car insurance is down. So I'm very confident we are going to get to a good place. And it's unfortunate to see this DSA movement getting this kind of traction.
Yeah, it is. I just, you look back, if you look back at how it was for Reagan when he dealt with a very similar issue, it took so many years for that to kind of work its way through. I wonder if there's any indication that you guys see at Treasury of how long you think Americans will still feel kind of like they can barely keep up with this kind of inflated economy. How long do you think this lasts for the average American?
Well, again, Rob, what we're not going to do is tell Americans what they're feeling, like the Biden administration do. That they said it was a 5 session, and we know what has happened here. But I think as people feel the turn, which they should be now, then there is light at the end of the tunnel. Things are getting better. We're seeing construction jobs picking up. We're seeing manufacturing jobs picking up. The unemployment rate dropped. We are seeing the big component of the workforce, the mid-20s to mid-50s, is very stable. And Rob, the other important thing too is these jobs are going to Americans. Like we have,
right? The jobs are all going to Americans. No more of all the illegals getting the jobs. Americans are getting a job. And I just want to say, Lurch Linger, that's right. Tap that like button. And thank you, Lurch, for the $10 donation on the Cash App. Thank you so much. With that 10, that means, folks, we're now just $65 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. That's right. Just 65 away from adding a first additional hour. Thank you so much, Lurch Linger. Yeah, the problem with the media is they all lie and they repeat Biden's lies, and they never told the truth on the Biden economy. That's right. You love best at being honest. That's right. Don't tell my credit card that things are better when I go to the grocery store. Well, the problem is the grocery prices are where they're at. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I only buy things that are on sale. Like, I only buy basically every week. I check the paper for what's buy one, get one free. That's what I buy. And then I stock up with enough to last about a month. And then each week, different things change. What's buy one, get one free. You buy a month worth of stuff, that way. And then you just keep cycling through it and stuff like that. I mean, that's what I've been doing. And it's been, it's the only way I've been able to keep my head above water, basically, is just buying what's on sale. If you just go and buy a shop like you used to shop, it's rough, man. It's rough. It's rough. Where's Bella doing? What's she doing? There's she coming back. All right. She's coming back. She's coming back. There she is. All right. I already shop at Aldi. I can't afford any at the regular chain stores. I shop at Publix, and they have a large selection of stuff that's buy one, get one free every week. And so you just buy what's on sale. Like, that's all. I mean, that's, I don't know. How was all the free Biden stimulus check money? That was the beginning of the economic problem. It sure was. You can't afford the quarter for the cart. Oh, man. Oh, man. That's crazy. That's nuts. That's nuts. So, and then Besson also came out and said that economic fury is going to cap, and that we're going to hit Iran with measures never seen in history. Never seen in history. That's what he says. Like, what do we think that will be? What do we think that will be? That sounds like a lot of stuff, man. So President Trump is preparing to dramatically escalate the economic fury campaign against Iran with new measures coming next week. He added that the move has never been seen in the history of economic isolation, while coupled with U.S. naval blockade aimed at preventing anything from moving in or out of Iranian ports. Watch this space for announcements coming next week, Besson said. We're going to apply measures like have never been seen for in history. So a year ago, March of 25, the president gave me an order to apply maximum pressure to the Iranian regime, and the Treasury did just that. Oh, it says we got a Boom Boom was gifted a membership from the King of Bill Club. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much. That means, folks, we are now just $60 away, from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you so much, Anton. That was great. Thank you, Anton, right there. Thank you. Rash applied. That's right. Red rash applied. Thank you so much. My Aldis don't carry liquor. Well, Boar's Head deli meat is good. Oh, I love Boar's Head deli meat, but I don't eat a lot of deli meat, to tell you the truth. I like every once in a while I like some salami, but I don't get that crazy for deli meats. Maybe a little ham once in a while, but I don't get crazy. Some turkey. No, thank you, Anton. If you're on the East Coast, if Aldi has come to your area, check them out. They're pretty good on par. Oh, Little as on par with Aldi. Okay, I never heard of those. Be careful with the deli meats. Has a lot of crap in it. That's right. Hey, thanks, Casper. I'm feeling a little better. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. Fries. Who has fries? Who has French fries? For those on the West Coast, if you have a Winco near you, they are cash only, but they pass the savings on. Hard to beat. Well, that's cool. So let's hear. Here's some more Bassett talking.
And we went from epic fury to economic fury. And at the president's orders, we have raised the level even again. And watch this space for more announcements coming next week, because we are going to apply measures like have never been seen in the history of economic isolation on a country. And
wow. Lidl is an upmarket competitor to Aldi. Think Target versus Walmart. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. So since then, Treasury's gone after Iranian bank accounts, crypto wallets, and assets around the world while cutting off financial flows. Well, thank you, Jenny. Bella is so cute. Yes, she is. I drink more now to relieve pain. No drugs suck. Oh. He pointed to the collapse of the Iranian bank late last year to illustrate the Treasury Department's impact. And the military phase that began in February marked another turn. After weeks of strikes under Operation Epic Fury, Besson said they shifted to economic fury. Besson threatens to subject Iran to economic isolation like the world has never seen, adding that new measures are expected next week. Awesome. Bella makes my day. She makes my day too. He described the strategy as a 1-2 punch. So it's a combo, 1-2 punch. It'll be a combination of economic isolation like the world's never seen and the continued blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. I'm into herbs lately, trying to find which herbs can help with pain. I know one herb that can help with pain. It's called Sensimelia. I want to check it out. You'd rather have drugs than alcohol? Oh, yeah. His remarks capped a day in which senior Trump officials said they're going to start tightening the economic screws. And they're going to make it like a vice. It's going to clamp down on them. And they're going to preserve overwhelming military force if Tehran chooses to escalate. So J.D. Vance described a broader approach Thursday. Well, let's hear what, what is it, Jim? The spelling. It was a bad joke on my part. Sensimelia means seedless. It's Mary Jane. No, Sensimelia. Sensimelia. It's a joke. It's seedless marijuana. It's a joke.
It's ensuring that the Gulf countries continue to send oil and gas to the world economy so that we have energy price stability. That's obviously important for the American people. I know that oil is down today, and it's way down from the highs in the early days of the conflict. That's goal number one. Keep oil and gas cheap for Americans all over our country. And then obviously goal number two is ensure that Iran never gets a nuclear weapon. I feel confident we're accomplishing both of those goals, but it's inherently an unpredictable thing because the Iranians themselves are unpredictable and they sometimes don't honor the commitments they've made to us.
Oh, crazy. I keep getting these weird spam calls on my phone. I have no idea who it is. So the thing they can say with confidence that Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. You're seeing a president at the height of his authority with a lot of tools. The maritime component's equally explicit.
Hold as long as we.
What? Why I have no sound all of a sudden? What happened? All right, I guess I got to go to X to watch it.
Hold as long as we need to. Indefinitely, the United States Navy can maintain a blockade like that because we'll rotate ships in and out as we have, and we'll continue to. And it's no other nation on Earth, no other Navy on Earth has the capability to have a wall of steel like the U.S. Navy, and then the willingness to use it as we have. So Iran knows it can't get in and out on this blockade, and they know that there's no timeline on it either. We'll hold it as long as we need to.
We'll hold as long as we need to. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. So we can hold it as long as we need to. That's good to know. And President Trump also said that the only one that has control of the strait is the United States.
The only one that has control of the Strait of Hormuz right now is the United States Navy. We have a blockade that's been infallible. It's a steel wall. And we let people in that we want to let in, and those people come in, and they've been coming in and they're going out. So it's actually open now. We do not let them go into Iran. They're not admitted into the strait to go to Iran. But it's open for others. Now, a little bit complex because they will, on occasion, drop a mine, and we find the mines. You know, we've mine swept the entire strait, as you probably maybe heard, maybe you didn't hear. But we control the strait 100%. Now, can they make trouble? Yeah, they can make trouble. But they're broke. They have no money. You know, Iran is broke, totally broke. And they're not paying their soldiers. They have inflation of 300% as of last night. I heard 309%. So we'll see what happens. But they've been bad for, they say 47, it's actually 50 now. 47, they've been saying it for 3 years. But for 50 years, they've been the bully of the Middle East. What they've done is terrible. They've killed hundreds of thousands of people. They've killed people. They've wounded and maimed people with the legs, the arms, you know, with the roadside bomb is their bomb. They're very proud of it. And now they're paying a price. Thank you very much, everybody.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. That's right. Tired of hearing about this shit or get off the pot. That's what I'm saying. They gotta do something. They gotta sell something. You know, Hormuz, Iran is attempting to hold the world economy at hostage and terrorize their neighbors, but they have a losing strategy. In the end, we're gonna whoop them.
But Mr. Secretary, you can concede, can't you, that the U.S. doesn't have total control over the Strait of Hormuz?
Look, Iran is attempting to hold the world economy hostage and to terrorize their neighbors. They've built up a giant arsenal. So are they causing difficulties in the region? Absolutely. But they have a losing strategy. At the end, that will lead to the collapse of this regime in Iran as their economy gets strangled. But are they causing some difficulties for their neighbors and the world economy? Absolutely. But their ability to cause difficulties are declining. Our ability to escort and bring products out of that region is growing. They have sort of one card, and it's shrinking in size.
That does not sound like total control, but you have live crew.
Wow. Oh, okay. So their ability to cause difficulties declining. So almost all these ships have their AIS turned off, so they're dark. So let's see. All right.
So you were saying that because of the U.S. military escorts and because some of these ships go dark going through the strait, that those numbers of these tracking agencies are not accurate.
Exactly. They're trying the best they can, but almost all of these ships have their AIS, their transponders are off. So they're dark, they're under escort. And it's a different shipping operation than we had before the conflict, but it's 8 or 9 million barrels a day on a running average are going through the strait. Plus you've got to add the 6 million barrels a day that are being diverted via pipelines. And those pipelines are being expanded as well. But so in round numbers today, 14, 15 million barrels a day are leaving the Arabian Gulf region versus the 20 million barrels a day pre-conflict. So we're short 5 or 6 million barrels a day from this region, but it's much smaller hole than people think it is.
All right, cool. All right, cool. So we're talking, coordinating with every ship, Wright said. So Supreme Leader's advisor, Mohammed Makbar, said that they're in a definitive strategy that will move Iran onto offense if Washington refuses their conditions. So they're going to go on the offense. These guys are going to go on the offense. Well, we'll see. So I don't trust Iran, and I'm the last person to trust Iran. That's what Trump says. Oh, okay.
I don't trust Iran. Why? Are you saying I trust Iran? I'm the last person to trust Iran. They've lied to me constantly. We have total control over the Hormuz Strait right now. They don't have control. We have total control. We own it. And at some point, maybe they'll do something and then they get blown away. But right now, we're in a very good position. We have a country that has been the bully of the Middle East for 50 years.
Yep, they have. And so it's time to end it. It really is. At some point, they'll do something and then they'll get blown away. Oh, cool. Cool. All right. On to the next story, folks. We're just going to keep pounding through these stories tonight as fast as possible. Going to keep going. I'll try to talk to the chat as much as possible, but I got a lot of making up to do. Missed a lot of days. So the Kennedy Center board creates a Trump Plaza and plans to add President Trump's name back to the building. That's right. The Kennedy Center's board moved Thursday to rename the area around the Art Center to President Donald J. Trump Plaza and add Trump's name back to the building. What do you know? What do you say? Trump allies on the board pushed through the changes in a meeting that lasted more than 2 hours. Trump, who chairs the board, participated virtually in a meeting and pushed back on criticism of plans to pour $250 million into refreshing the center, which opened in 1971. The refresh will require the main building's closure for about 2 years. I mean, this thing's like a fallen down wreck, and they're letting them not, You think Mangione should be charged for terrorism? Me too. The board's latest plans call for Trump's name to appear beneath the longtime signage on the cavernous hall to read restored and renovated by President Donald J. Trump. The board voted last December to rebrand it as the Trump Kennedy Center, but the change was nixed by U.S. District Judge Chris Cooper, who ordered the president's name removed. This morning's decision to close the center and the surprise agenda item to put Trump's name back on the building was more of the same. Latest developments, a transparent effort to circumvent the Trump's ruling. Oh, who is this lady? So, former appointee says that using Trump's name to be inscribed in large letters and ridiculing opposition to the temporary closure is a willful ignorant of necessary repairs and improvements. I call on everyone who's complaining about what they're doing to walk to the building. To all those haters, we're not closing the center, we're closing the main building. We're still going to use the $300 million structure called the Reach to do shows. The center staff did not respond to the Post's request for comments. Under President Trump's bold leadership, the Kennedy Center is on its way to becoming the finest cultural institution anywhere in the world. So that's, that's interesting, right? That's one way to get around it. So that's good. They're going to put Trump's name on there and say it's the Trump Plaza. That's using your old thinking noggin. That was Kissy McFishface. Yes. So the woman was identified and arrested on 2 felony charges after vandalizing the sacred World War II memorial, faces up to 10 years in prison. This crazy lady right here. She's been identified and arrested. Jeanine Pirro says, announced authorities have arrested Melissa Ferris, faces charges of depredation. We all saw that stuff. Vandalizing our World War II memorial. Oh, here we go. Vandalizing our World War II memorial is despicable attack on a sacred monument. It is. It's crazy.
I walked up and saw the bubbles. I'm a veteran, and I was offended because it was more because people fought and died for our country, and it's dishonoring this country and all we've been through. And I came here to pay respect to those who fought for our country before I did, and to find out people are disrespecting it for a message that doesn't even have anything to do with the memorials is insulting. I served in Iraq in 2004. I was in the Army, and I drove pets in Iraq, and
Yeah. Why does Fox just start auto playing stuff in the background on other tabs I have open? It's just crazy.
That's what I did. I just really.
So it's a terrible thing this woman did. She should be punished and held to the fullest effect. Dirty money. Oh, what's up? She poured bubble soap in there and painted graffiti on the memorial. This is nuts. She should be honestly, we need to do like Singapore would do, and she needs to be a public caning. That's what needs to happen. Caning. Very despicable what she did. Yes, completely despicable. It's very despicable. All right, let's go to this story here. Trump asked the Supreme Court to let the $400 million ballroom project resume at the White House. Yes, I hope she gets held accountable to the full extent of the law. You and me both. So President Trump asked the Supreme Court to allow the construction of the White House ballroom to continue while the appeal through the lower court, while they appeal the lower court's ruling about the work. Solicitor General petitioned the High Court to suspend the decision by a 3-judge panel. The filing brings the months-long legal battle to the Supreme Court for the first time. The divided Court of Appeals ruled last week that they must stop the ballroom construction. Like, who do these people think they are? Like, really? We should send her to go fight in Ukraine. Yeah, that's a good idea, right? The panel's majority said Trump doesn't have the unilateral authority to build the project without additional approval. Approval from who? The president is in control of the White House, the executive branch. The fucking law says that he has the authority to make repairs and renovations and improvements. It says that. So the case involves an extraordinary and unlawful injunction that will halt the ongoing construction of the integrated military complex, including a totally secure ballroom space. He argued the renovations are absolutely required and should not be enjoined because any delay threatens presidential safety after the recent plots to assassinate the president. And the president was targeted in April at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, along with twice and once on a golf course, once. He's been targeted so many times, it's crazy. Yes, the communist judges. We need to do what Bukele did and start arresting the judges. Sauer said the ballroom is 65% complete and moving quickly towards total completion. The lower court's decision sided with historic preservationists who sued to stop the construction. They had zero standing to sue. They don't have any fucking standing to sue. Trump argues the ballroom is necessary not just to host guests, but for security. He repeatedly notes the rooftop will host drone ports and that the building will have a drone-proof defensive architecture. I don't think there should be more than one Supreme Court. No, there shouldn't be at all. It was paid for by private donations. The immediate aftermath of the ruling, Trump called it horrendous and politically motivated. His project on the White House grounds is not the only one facing legal challenges. So are his plans to renovate the Kennedy Center and his desire to build an arch. Anything he wants to do, they're just against anything Trump wants to do. That's like that thing I played earlier of, the Tony Montana thing from Scarface. That's how they treat Trump. He's the bad guy. No matter what he does, he's the bad guy. They got to go after him. That's it. It's crazy. It is. It's totally nuts. So, something's got to change. Something's got to give. It does. So they're asking the Supreme Court to allow him to continue construction, which I can't see the Supreme Court not allowing it.
A fight on a different front as well at the Supreme Court after construction of his White House ballroom was ordered shut down. And CBS's Torian Small is traveling with the president in New Jersey. Torian, good evening to you. Tom, good evening. The president appears to be furious with that decision while the courts continue to push back on all of it and ruling Republicans and Congress remain on the sidelines.
President Trump says he's taking his ballroom battle all the way to the Supreme Court. Federal judges on Friday halted construction of the White House overhaul, saying it needs congressional approval first. The ruling called the president a, quote, temporary tenant. Trump rebranding the project as a military complex, calling the judge's decision a national security threat and a disgrace.
The ballroom is really a shield and protecting all of the things that are built here.
All of it, Trump says, is a $400 million gift from donors, not taxpayers, while also asking Congress for $1 billion for security.
He's living in a house. It is not his house. It is belongs to the country.
It's not just the White House. The Kennedy Center still under a tarp, with a board vote next week on its fate. His proposed triumphal arch near Arlington would block historic landmarks, according to his National Park Service. And he's still blaming vandals for the unfinished reflecting pool, even after his own D.C. attorney blamed a botched.
Okay, I'm done with that. So this has nothing to do with that. You're going to fucking go to that shit now? So we'll see. I don't see how Lisa Murkowski's a fucking scumbag. She's got to, you got to get Alaska. What the fuck? Get her out of there. Complete piece of shit. He's living in a house. It's not his house. It's the government's house. No, it's the president's house while the president's there. There's only one president at a time. He's the president. He is the executive. That's his house. He's responsible for making sure it's taken care of. And it says the president has the ability to make all the changes he wants. The White House is not part of it's not part of any other shit. It's part of the executive branch, and it's his responsibility. This is crazy. All right. Another crazy fucking story coming out of New York. All right. NYPD. What the? I hate you, Fox News. I really do.
NYPD says Zohran Mamdani's wife.
Shut up, Fox News, with your autoplay shit. NYPD cop found guilty of chokehold in first conviction since the restraint tactic was banned after George Floyd's death. Omar Habib faces up to 7 years in prison after putting a man in a chokehold during a Bronx arrest. You don't say. Oh, my God. So a New York Police Department officer was found guilty on Thursday of strangulation, of using a prohibited chokehold. The ban was enacted after George Floyd's death. George Floyd was never put in a chokehold. So he was convicted of misdemeanor established under a law prohibiting certain restraint tactics by police officers. He was found guilty of second-degree felony strangulation and third-degree misdemeanor assault. The felony strangulation carries a maximum of 7 years. Habib, who earlier suspended without pay, was terminated following his felony conviction. This is just crazy. He was responding to a 911 call when a drunk and disorderly man resisted arrest. Prosecutor said Habib put the man in a chokehold so tight that it impeded his breathing and caused him to lose consciousness. Yeah, that's the point. You get him to stop fighting. So it substantiated the allegation that he used a chokehold in a separate 2017 encounter. Was it illegal in 2017? No, was it? Huh. So the officer's conviction was further proof every second police officer spent on the job puts him at risk of criminal prosecution. He was charged under a 2020 law that was passed after George Floyd's death, sparking race riots. I can't breathe. He was never put in a fucking chokehold, though. The law was challenged by police union, but was upheld by the state's highest court in 2023. Police use of chokeholds was already prohibited by NYPD. NYPD officer Daniel Pantella lost his job but faced no criminal charges after they found he used a chokehold on Eric Garner in 2014. Every New York cop should just fucking quit. Let them deal with it. That's what should happen. Every fucking cop needs to quit and walk out of New York. Everyone needs to just fucking quit. Everyone. NYPD cop found guilty of strangulation using prohibited chokehold. Fuck them. Just need to go back to with the billy clubs and just start beating them in the head. That's what they need to do. What's this? So, the commie Mamdani's luxury home tax gets new life as appeals court lifts the roadblock. Judge Philip Hom stayed the temporary restraining order, allowing the surcharge to resume while the appeal proceeds.
Of others, and basically trying to entrap them.
We are confident in our position, and that is a confidence coming from both the legality of the city's actions as well as the importance of a surcharge on secondary homes worth more than $5 million, a surcharge that will help fund safer streets, that will help fund stronger schools, and it will help fund the city that New Yorkers deserve.
So that was the Democratic Socialist Mayor, Zohran Mamdani, yesterday. His administration filing a new appeal this morning, fighting the pause on his pied-à-terre tax. A Democrat judge yesterday temporarily blocked the roll of his controversial tax on luxury second homes. Let's bring in Jonathan Turley, Fox News contributor and constitutional law professor. You know, I don't know the background actually of that judge, but I would like to ask you about the decision that came out and what you think of it, Jonathan.
Martha, the rollout on this was just horrendous. I mean, Mamdani has succeeded in making Soviet central planners look like overachievers. I mean, they just listed hundreds of thousands of properties virtually arbitrarily, and all these owners found themselves on this list. And many of them are saying, look, this is our only home, or we don't fit the criteria. But the Mamdani administration just sort of shrugged and said, you know, we'll sort them out. The judge said that's not good enough. You know, now keep in mind, it's very unlikely that the tax itself will be struck down. The tax is going to go forward. That's why people are fleeing New York. But as people flee New York with their tax revenues, the rest of that called herd become even more important for the city to nail in terms of taxes. The other problem here, Martha, is that it's the city that determines the value of your property. And most of these cities tend to overvalue because it means that they can then overtax. So it's a sort of an unequal battle for a lot of these homeowners.
Yeah, that's a great point, that last point that you just made, because they are assessing these properties and they can assess them at what they want. Now, if somebody were to take that to court, that might be a different story in terms of overturning an individual's situation, right?
Right. I mean, there's already a lot of litigation over this. Thousands have filed for exemptions. They have a right to be reviewed. The evaluations themselves will be reviewed. This is a bonanza for lawyers. It is not shaping up to be a bonanza for New York in terms of the tax revenue they're losing by really chasing the wealthy out of the city. It's not going to cover that loss. But you see this as the reaction of Mamdani really reveals what's really going on here, which is a class war. Many of these people on this list are objecting were Mamdani supporters, and they just didn't think that the mob would come for them.
Yeah.
Well, that's how things like this work.
Well, that's so interesting because, you know, it's all about affordability, the campaign. And then you learn that, you know, a large group of individuals who voted for him are white, highly educated New Yorkers. So they're going to get bitten by this as well. This is Randy Mastro, who used to be part of the Eric Adams administration, I believe. He's the plaintiff attorney here. Here's his comment after the verdict was reached.
Do you think ultimately this ruling is going to affect the tax in the long run? Do you think the tax could ultimately be repealed?
This case is about following a proper process and only ensnaring people who actually owe the surcharge, not sending out to thousands of others and basically trying to entrap them into not following the city's deadlines and process to impose the surcharge on them.
So what's next on this, Jonathan?
Well, I think the process itself is likely to be protected. The tax will remain. Mamdani keeps on referring to $5 million. It's actually $1 million for things like condos, which in New York is not a lot of condo in New York. So there's still a lot of people who are on this bubble, and it's going to burst once they can get through the process.
That's very interesting. Yeah, I don't think you can probably buy a condo for less than $1 million in New York, maybe a few, but not a lot. Jonathan, thank you very much. Good to see you as
Right.
always.
That's right. So they're going to get what they vote for. They have to deal with it. Yeah. That's what they have to deal with. So this fucking commie Mamdani right here, God. It's the face of the devil. Quite frankly, it's so outrageous. The mayor's so desperate to further his agenda that he's going to enforce surcharge notices that are blatantly illegal. So, well, that's that. Well, you get what you deserve, man. You get what you deserve. You get what you deserve. So we got this story. The Justice Department finds that California's women's prisons failed to protect prisoners from sexual abuse. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? U.S. Department of Justice. U.S. Department announced. U.S. Department of Justice. People who it's fucking AI writing this shit. Come on, man. It has reason to believe the California Department of Corrections and several prisons failed to protect female prisoners from sex abuse. During a news conference, the DOJ alleged that Central California Women's Facility in Chowchilla and the California Institution for Women in Chino violated the Constitution by denying women prisoners their rights under the 8th and 14th Amendments. Female prisoners have constitutional rights to be free from sexual assault and harassment by staff. The Department of Justice investigation revealed that California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation knew of repeated incidents of sexual assault and harassment and failed to protect them. So officials said during the investigation they uncovered long-standing pattern of sexual misconduct by staff, inadequate safeguards, failures in confidential reporting, improper investigation practices, and insufficient accounting measures. The DOJ also found that the CDCD and the CCWF and the CIW failed to effectively implement the Prison Rape Elimination Act, which sets strict zero-tolerance standards for sex abuse and harassment of people in federal, state, and local confinement facilities. Yeah. First, U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley said that the department's findings were unacceptable and added the state needs to confront the persistent failure of its own employees and prevent sexual abuse. The report should serve as a turning point, he says. The DOJ provided the state with notice of a minimum remedial measure it will be required to address the violations. If state officials do not satisfactorily address these concerns within 49 days, Rob Bonta may initiate litigation under Civil Rights Act. Why would he initiate? This was written by fucking AI. Why would Rob Bonta initiate litigation? He's the one that's responsible for fucking doing it. AI sucks, man, with their writing this shit. They're good at making videos, but they suck at writing stories. All right, we got this story here. ICE buys less lethal electric shock gloves to aid agents in arrests. This looks cool. These look like a good idea, if you ask me. A very, very good idea. Shock gloves. Shot to the heart and gloves to blame. Hold on one second. Oh.
Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support.
Sorry, my phone was ringing. It won't stop. No, my phone was ringing. It wouldn't stop. This person just keeps calling me. So, Immigration and Customs Enforcement is moving forward with plans to spend $20 million on electric shock gloves. Devices will be used as a new tool to enforce cooperation with aggressive suspects. Sounds great to me. The gloves known as CDG-5 glove, generated low output voltage emitters, are scheduled to be delivered to ICE around the nation in 2027. They can't come soon enough. When the glove touches the skin, it'll deliver a maximum of 380 volts. Tom Holman talks about the gloves.
Something else I'd like to bring your attention to or talk about. DHS plans to spend $20 million on electric shock gloves to aid federal agents. How would that work, and what role would they play?
Well, look, it's another device that, to help someone be compliant where they're not. You just can't go from 0 to 100, right? And first thing you go for is lethal force. So, we have OC spray, we have tasers. So the glove is, the latest thing they're looking at to help in situations. You've seen the videos in the past year and a half, the fights on the street where officers are overwhelmed. This would be a tool they can use to make someone compliant. Now, there's a lot of training involved. There's still some, background, issues that need to be dealt with. So the implementation of these gloves out in the field are going to be a while. I think they serve a better purpose in detention facility, that where detainees get out of control and there's fights in the facility. So we'll see. The training protocol is being written and being reviewed. Then we'll see when they get rolled out. But it's just another tool in the tool belt of ICE officers who are under 9,000% increase in death threats, an actual 1,400% increase in actual threats. So it's just another tool to help those who don't want to be compliant, those who attack law enforcement officers, to bring them into compliance without using deadly force.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good. Good news. Good news. Bella has a young feminine voice. Yes. So the new tools come in increased immigration enforcement activities. It's another device that helps them be compliant, which we need. We need more compliance. Similar gloves have been used in jails, police departments, and other agencies. Oh, good. Good. White House border czar defends the ICE gloves. I think they should be on all the time. They should use them when they're just talking to people, I think. That's what I think. That's what I think. What is happening here? So, at least 6 people have been shot and killed by immigration agents since last year. Good. They deserved it. Don't fucking try to hit them with your car. That's how you keep it. No, this is what it looks like. Get him. She looks like why is she smiling? Wait a minute. Do you see this look on this woman's face? She looks like she's enjoying it. Look at that look. That's like she's pleasure. I don't know. Where's he touching her? They estimate they've been shocked by the gloves more than 10 times during training. The pain was intense, but stops once the gloves are no longer touching the skin. Shock gloves have been used sparingly, but as helpful initial deterrent. There you go. Fucking hey, do it. There you go. So, yeah, the shock gloves sound like a great idea. I see the glove being renamed the Shocker. 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink. There you go. There you go. If we could find dilithium crystals, we could use phasers from Star Trek. Yes, just set the phasers to stun. As long as they're not easily removed and used on agents. ICE going to be walking around like Sophie Cunningham just pointing. That's right. That's right. All right. Next story. Murdaugh gun claim collides with bizarre Charleston showdown as lawyers battle over what the next jury gets to see. Uh-oh. Defense led by Dick Cartpoolian alleges false physical evidence was presented to the grand jury that indicted him. Wow. Amazing Disgrace says, let's define the line between protesters and rioters. Yeah, well, the line, Amazing Disgrace, would be as soon as they break the law. Once you start breaking the law, you're no longer a protester. You're now a rioter. Did phasers have a kill setting then? I think they did. You set them to stun. That's right. I think they need a weapon that would cause all those whistleblowers to suck the ball in the whistle. Oh, that would be great. That would be great. She deserved it. Yeah.
Now, Fox News contributor, among other things, and Josh, good day to you. I want to set this up in the following way. There was an incriminating piece of evidence in this case. It was a video on Snapchat. And I just want to roll this for our viewers at home, because as you listen to the audio, it sounds like Alex Murdaugh's voice back around the dog pen where his wife and his son were shot and killed. So that was entered into evidence, and we all watched that. I think it was 8:45 in the evening, okay? So come on back out here. Becky Hill is the woman in question. Clerk of courts. In a Fox Nation special, she said the following. Her opinion. Watch.
As the clerk of court, I tend to be more like a Switzerland in dealing with everyone. I take no sides. Sadly, I do think that Alec killed his wife Maggie and his son Paul. I think he did it out of a twisted way of love. I don't think we can wrap our heads around that thought.
Josh, I think we can all agree that she's entitled to her opinion, and that was her opinion after the case. However, we had a juror sat down and said the following about what Becky Hill, the clerk of court, said to them during deliberations. Watch.
She was lit up, and we're all just kind of like, what's going on? And she said, the defense has decided that they're going to put Alex on the stand. And she said, now, I don't want you to be fooled by what they say. Pay close attention to his body language, his movements. You're going to hear a lot of things. And then she went on to say how we were all going to be famous, and this is, just the trial of the century. And I think a lot of, I can't say what other jurors heard. I was just kind of like, did she really just say that?
Okay, so it's my understanding she was somewhat of a singular juror who came forward with that information. Murdaugh's team jumps on it and says, you can't do that. And the state Supreme Court unanimously agreed, and we are where we are today. So what does the judge decide now, Josh, as to what step is next?
No, you're absolutely right. The county clerk, Becky Hill, is entitled to her opinion, but she is legally required to keep that opinion to herself when it comes to the jurors. And that was the big problem in this case. The jury, especially a deliberating jury in a murder trial, is supposed to be so sacred and kept entirely to themselves to deliberate and discuss the case only amongst themselves. And by her sharing her opinions, and even in some ways, according to the defense, directing how they should view the evidence, the Supreme Court here in South Carolina felt that that was just too far and did not allow for him to have a protected and safe verdict in this case. And I'll tell you, I agree with them. I think that was the right decision. As unfortunate as this is, and as problematic as it is that we have to go through this entire trial again, it was the right decision to make. So that decision has already been made. We are now set at a pretrial hearing for that new trial, and we're discussing what the landscape of that new trial may look like. Part of that same opinion that the South Carolina Supreme Court brought back also instructed them on how they should treat the financial crimes evidence in this case. The court didn't overturn the prior verdict because of the financial crimes, but did warn that the prosecution may have gone too far. So we may see a very different case this time around.
Well, and Josh, this defense wants to go back even prior to those issues. They want to argue that there was misinformation given to the grand jury and question whether the grand jury would have even come back with the indictments that led to the trial. What are the odds that the judge goes back that far, getting this entire thing tossed or forcing the prosecution to go back to the grand jury a second time?
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly the argument they're making. They're saying that during the grand jury testimony, a SLED officer, a South Carolina Law Enforcement Division officer, testified that evidence of blood spatter existed on Alec Murdaugh's shirt from that evening. During trial, it was revealed that that was in fact not true. Their argument is that had that been known to the grand jury at the time, they may not have returned into an indictment. Now, that might be a difficult hill for them to climb.
I don't think so. If they said that they found fucking blood splatter on his shirt at the grand jury, and that did not happen, that grand jury indictment, it has to, that was not true information. That's not how fucking this law, that's not how our criminal law is supposed to work in this country. A fucking cop for the corrupt SLED cocksuckers goes in there and lies and says, oh, we found blood splatter on the shirt. We know it was him. And they go, oh, yeah, it was him. They got the blood splatter on the shirt. And they go, there was no fucking blood splatter on the shirt. You lied. What the fucking evidence did they have? They didn't have shit. They didn't have shit. Oh, my God, look at this. Glad to see you're feeling better, Jim. You and your PC. Well, thank you so much, Mark. It's so nice to see you.
Tactical assessment. Red Chinese victory. Impossible. America will never fall to communist invasion. Communism is the very definition of failure.
Wow, with that wonderful, huge, big $60 donation from Low Watermark, that means we are now just $100 away from adding a second additional hour to the show. Wow. Amazing. That is amazing. Thank you so much. Wow, there's a little taco taste. Very generous. Yes, thanks for supporting Jim. Becky is walking free. I don't think Becky's walking free. I think something happened to her. I think she got some punishment. Can he prove that voice at the time wasn't him? Guns are used in another unaliving match. I don't know. We're going to see. I think Nick should cover this trial and Jim should stream with him. I do too. Make sure you tell Nick that. Where are his bloody clothes and the guns? They never found any bloody clothes. They never found the guns. That's the problem. I hate jury duty. I get it. I should get a teardrop tattoo. Yes. Jenny with 5. Thank you, Jim, for the stream and sharing Sweet Bell. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. With that 5, folks, that means now we are just $95 away from adding a second additional hour to the show. Thank you so much. Sharkman, that would do it. Yes, it was. We all love Bella. Hey, Kofi, what's up? Thanks for holding it down over there on the kick.
But that's at least the argument they're making. If they prevail on that, however, it doesn't mean the case goes away. It just means that the prosecution in this case will have to go back to the grand jury, return another indictment before they can proceed forward, which just could delay things even longer.
Just one more question here, Josh, before we move on to the next case here. You're in Lexington, South Carolina. You're 2 hours away from Colleton County, where the murders took place.
Woo-hoo!
And his defense is going to order you, is going to ask that you can't get a fair jury now. He can't get a fair trial back in that county. They want to move it to Charleston to the east. Do you think that's a legitimate argument, Josh?
I think it actually is. We saw the impact that the media attention had on this case, and just the Murdaugh name has in this county. They make I think a very convincing argument that they can't get a fair trial here because too many people have already made up their minds about the case.
Okay, all right.
Well, we will be tracking every second of what happens in that courtroom today and see how quickly the judge makes decisions on all of these different issues. Josh, thank you. Don't go far.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah. So Alex Murdaugh returned to court Friday for a pretrial hearing, and his attorneys opened up a claim that the judge said raised my eyebrows. The disbarred attorney appeared before Circuit Judge Deborah McCaslin at 10 a.m. Several motions and issues were discussed, including Murdaugh's defense raised new potential ballistics issue. One of his attorneys told the judge the team learned through Fitz News reporting that weapons from a recent Allendale County murder may have been connected to the Murdaugh case. And prosecutor Creighton Waters told the court the claim was entirely new to him. So, wow. So they might have actually found the guns used in another murder. That would kind of mean that Alec didn't do it. He's in jail. I never heard this. First I've heard about it. Oh, and that he communicates with SLED daily. He's never been told any such development. Creighton Waters, I think, is a fucking scumbag. He is like a binger. He is a binger, Creighton Waters. Murdaugh was guilty of financial crimes, and that's what the trial was mostly about. They failed on murder. Yeah, I agree. I never saw anything. I never saw anything that led me to believe that he murdered them. I didn't. In the trial, I watched the whole thing. I didn't see nothing. Wow, we got another big one coming in. Thank you, Brian Ogden. Finally, I can learn the news. Well, thank you. With that 25, folks, that's another big one there. That means right now we are just 70 away from adding a second additional hour to the show. That is amazing. The chicken did it. Yeah, probably. Maybe the chicken did do it. He says, I've certainly looked into it, but I'd be flabbergasted to find out that actually happened and no one had advised me of that. See, that's part of the thing. If no one tells the prosecutor, they can say, I didn't know about it. No one told me. Because if he knew it, but it was used in another case, that's going to be a problem. McCaslin appeared struck by the allegation as well, telling, as far as the murder in Allendale with the murder weapons, you certainly raised my eyebrows on that. Well, yeah, that's That would mean something, wouldn't it? Griffin argued that if investigators determined shell cases from the Allendale case match those tied to the Murdaugh murders, the defense wants the underlying testing and investigative records. He said such a finding could raise questions about the original ballistic analysis and whether a firearm associated with the Murdaugh case was later used in another killing. Yeah. Waters stressed that he had not read the material and said he does not. It says that it's FITS News. It's the Firearm Information Technology Service News, and he does not generally follow media coverage of the case. Are you feeling well enough for 2 hours? Yeah, I should be all right. If I have to run, I can always run and come back. I don't watch the podcast. I don't read the blogs because I don't base that on the news and speculation. Waters later said that SLED has now told him that there's no known ballistic match linking a 300 blackout used in Allendale to another crime. Waters said the firearm evidence from Allendale was entered into ballistic database, but there's been no leads or matches on it. Oh, I'm going to find out more and double check. We're going to run this down. SLED told him there's no leads or hits. Oh, really? No leads or hits. Really? Hold on 1 second. Just 1 second. Let me see if there's a. Alrighty. Hey, Finch, no problem. Anytime you get here, it's fine with me. Fine with me. So. Fine with me. Let's see here. So, defense attorney Dick Harpoon said defense wants more than verbal assurance and remains skeptical of SLED because of issues it raised over the agency's handling of evidence. I've never questioned Mr. Waters' integrity, but as a result of this case, I cannot help but question SLED's lab integrity and the SLED agency. Watch as the prosecutor says rifle and Allendale shooting has no link to other crimes.
Any response, Mr. Waters?
Very briefly, Your Honor. First of all, just because I just got this from General Counsel at SLED that there was a 300 blackout that was used in Allendale. However, it was entered into IBIS, and there have been no leads or no matches on that. So that's what I was just informed.
Is that going back to
the prior motion?
to
Yes,
the prior where the blackout was
and I'll find out more, but it does.
said to have been used in another murder in Allendale or somewhere? You understand that, Mr. Griffin? Okay. You know, sometimes a real novel idea is to pick up the phone and call each other and talk. That's what we used to do when we were younger.
Just pick up the phone and call and talk to each other. We used to do that when we was younger.
Later now, Fox News contributed among other things.
That's what we used to do. So Griffin noted that the former SLED agent, the lead case agent in the Murdaugh case, was also involved in a Colucci case and asked whether Owen was disciplined or sanctioned. Waters said he was not aware of any finding that Owen had been dishonest, but said he would look into it. Oh, so there was a Colucci case they're looking at. So Colucci, whose murder charge was dismissed without prejudice after attorneys alleged the state withheld exculpatory evidence. Hold on, Jesus. So the decision centered on Giglio obligations. Under the ruling, prosecutors must disclose material evidence. So Murdaugh makes demands for Giglio material on Eddie Smith, whatever this is. So this is a different case. This is anyway, so I think it's pretty clear the criminal defendant's testimony from the first trial is admissible as at a retrial in the same case. Defense argued Murdaugh's decision to testify at the first trial was influenced by the admission of extensive evidence about his financial crimes. And they said if it's not relevant, it's not in. I'm going to allow it in, subject to what's being testified to the trial. So they want to basically try to use his testimony in the first case against him is what it looks like. Oh, I got a camera. Bella moved. There she is. Mm-hmm. Sled never lies. Oh, shit. Mm-hmm. He was a heavy drug addict, drug cartel. Who knows? Maybe. I just got the urge to take Bella for walkies. Okay. After 2 days, Jim's system should be pretty well cleaned out. It is. I'm clean out. Don't be like me and forget to hit the like button. That's right. Make sure you hit the like button. Super quiet. I'm quiet. Video audio sucks. Oh, sorry about that. Took 5 days to put me in the hospital. You're in the hospital? Bella looking very small. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that. So, McCaskill warned the defense that mentioning a polygraph without first approaching could risk a mistrial. He told court Smith failed a polygraph when asked whether he killed Paul and Maggie Murdaugh. He said Alex Murdaugh passed one with flying colors. Okay, you don't want when he holds you in contempt. Scream polygraph. Not to start screaming polygraph in front of the jury. I got it. I agree with you. So there's some guy that they questioned on a polygraph. He failed a polygraph. What the hell? Waters pushed back and suggested there's been problems with that portion of the first jury selection. No evidence was any shenanigans. Oh. Well, how do you know if what's her face was running it and she's crooked? What's up, Dawn Darkstar? How you doing? Bella's so peaceful. Yeah. You're dehydrated. Oh my God. Stop washing Bella at 250. 300. Huh? Defense raised concern over the jury. So I'm not going to keep watching. So did anyone else get sick? No one else got sick. Just me. But and that's why I think I was the only one that had lettuce and put salsa on their tacos. So I think it was either the lettuce or the salsa. He said defense wants a private lab to conduct more testing. We want to pay for it. We want to get on with it. So Waters said the state's willing to make evidence available, but wants SLED to first process and quantify the untouched reserve sample and then stop before any additional. What? If we're going to burn it, it needs to be burned in a fashion that's fair to both sides. They've had 5 years now because we asked to test it. They want to take control of our testing. I mean, that's not fair. I don't have any faith they won't screw this up. We don't have any independent right to examine the untested. Why don't we have an independent right to examine the untested DNA? Yeah, jalapenos could be jalapenos from the Taylor Farms. That's what I was thinking. It's not like a piece of paper. I can make a copy of it. It's just a little amount. Well, would you agree that parking is sufficient downtown Charleston? So they're arguing over stupid stuff. So they want to move it to Charleston. So Harpurli noted murder was broke and defense is conscious of the cost of the retrial. So Colleton County is poison, he says. The ruling rests on 4 grounds. First, the exceptional rate of juror disqualification during the January 23rd jury selection, the community prejudice because of the size of the county, the form of publicity surrounding it. The judge said it would be premature to issue rulings, and it plans to issue rulings closer to the retrial. All right. The chili peppers, the chili pepper, the jalapenos and the salsa, they said were bad. So the high court ordered a new trial. The retrial might look significantly different. It probably will. All right. So on to the next story now. We got a huge quake and extremely rare location, even in short succession. This is from our space weather news guy. Look at this. Look at all these earthquakes happening there. Bang, bang, boom, bomb, boom, boom, boom. It's crazy, right? Look at it. Spain. All these places. Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Buildings crumble after powerful 7.7 earthquake strikes Indonesia. Tsunami warning has been issued. Right there. Banga, banga, boonga. Wow. A powerful 7.7 earthquake struck off the coast of Indonesia on Friday, prompting a tsunami warning. Violent shaking was felt in the Flores region. A number of casualties is unknown. Videos posted on social media showed people running as buildings crumbled. Wow. Wow. They could at least turn the camera so it's a better picture. A little spackle, a high deck. Yeah, a little spackle, some duct tape. Get it all fixed up. So, first visuals from Indonesia after the devastating 7.7 earthquake. Why can't they turn the camera? Indonesia TPS incoming. Well, no, they don't. Just because they have an earthquake, they don't have to get TPS. Yeah. Maybe some more rebar would help. Yeah. I'm so surprised that weather changes history for all of history. It's crazy, isn't it? Isn't that nuts? Isn't that nuts how that happens? It's crazy. Now what's Bella doing? Bella, what are you doing? Why don't you lay in your bed? The earth rules. Yes, it does. Bella, come here. Come lay in your bed. So, a magnitude 7.7 earthquake struck off the coast of Indonesia. Indonesia's meteorology, climatology, and geophysics agency issued a tsunami warning. In 2004, a magnitude 9.3 struck off the coast of Sumatra, triggered a deadly tsunami. More than 225,000 people perished in the 2004 tsunami. Oh, wow. That's a lot of people dying. That's a lot of people dead. Wow. Let's pray for all the people in Indonesia. Lord, please cast your loving, tender hand down and guide some, sympathy and comfort to these people suffering in their time of need. My son says that polar shift stuff is not going to happen. Okay. What's up, Catherine K? How you doing? 7.7. Yeah, this was a 7.7. They say a 9.4 occurred in 2004, though. It would be a miracle if idiots stopped using portrait instead of landscape. She has to go potty? Maybe, but she would let me know. She would start making some noise. They don't turn the camera because of TikTok. I'm starting to think that's true. Yes, amen. I do know we have a lot of huge solar flares lately. It is. They're not that huge, though. They just seem huge. So a senior CCP intelligence official who is also a trained sniper buys a historic building just 650 feet from the White House. Wow. Look at this. There's the White House and there's the building. 650 feet. Huh. A historic 9-story building overlooking the White House complex has been purchased by a foundation controlled by a man with ties to the Chinese Communist Party's security and influence operations. The century-old securities building in Washington is approximately 650 feet from the northeast grounds of the White House. It was purchased by $8.4 million by the Philip Q and Family Foundation. That was new, Reverend Jim. Well, I try my best. I don't know. I'm not very good at prayers. I usually say them silently in my mind. I was thinking we can do so many things. Dialysis cleaning materials are discontinued and somehow no replacement to be discussed. It's crazy, isn't it? It is. They discontinued that stuff and there's no replacement. No one knows anything about it. They just can't figure it out. I mean, if I was if I was in the chemical business, I would start a company making it and selling it, since it has to be used by everyone that does dialysis. They need that to clean the stuff, and yet it doesn't exist. Yeah, there's something called like Alcave. I think it's called Alcave 50, or I think it's called Alcave 50 or something like that. I have to look up the exact name of it again. But they stopped making it, and so nobody knows what to use. It's crazy. So he's identified as Q felony and has reportedly held positions connecting to Chinese public security and the Chinese Communist Party. So according to the Daily Caller investigation, the Chinese university records, he began his career as a detective with the Shanghai Public Security Bureau. He also connects Q to at least 3 government organizations. The bipartisan Chinese Economic Security Review describes the United Front work as an effort led by the CCP and its agents. 2021 statement related to Daily Caller, he declared CCP is like a kind but firm parent. So this guy, they're trying to control everything. So his ownership of the building poses an urgent national security threat and must be investigated by federal authorities. You have to get the patent on it, plus USDA or all those stupid people. Yeah, probably. Oh. The property allows access for big splashy intel ops, as well as more classic ops like a listening post or a Stingray-like system to collect phone calls, text message, and digital exhaust. Wow. But what's especially alarming are properties like this allow hidden drone swarms or shipping container missiles. It's the kind of property the next 9/11 will come from. It's coming. Wow. It's crazy. That's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. So the Shanghai native also held at least 3 positions in the arms of a CCP influence intelligence agency called the United Front Work Development Department. Wow. Gateway Pundit repeatedly covered concerns about Chinese-linked property acquisitions to their sensitive American installations. Why do they keep buying property next to our military bases, now next to the White House? What are they planning? Oh, they're at war with us. Wake up, people. China is at war with us. They're just prepping the battlefield. That's what they're doing. So now the concern is no longer confined to the farmland hundreds or thousands of miles from Washington. It's 650 feet from the White House. So wait, no one in D.C.'s ever thought to make it illegal to sell property in D.C. to a communist? Yeah, it seems kind of like dumb, doesn't it, Jim? Seems kind of dumb. Like maybe somebody's dropping the ball. Somebody's getting paid. Wow, this is crazy. You guys remember that story we were talking about, that the surrogate, that the family wanted to kill the baby because there was some kind of birth defect or something, and the lady had to leave, flee, and go to Texas so that the baby would be born. Well, now the parents who demanded the abortion have custody of the baby after the surrogate risked everything to save him. The legal battle over baby Gabriel took a dramatic turn when the California couple who repeatedly sought to abort him obtained physical custody just hours after his birth in Texas, even as the surrogate refused their demands, continued fighting for parental rights. Yes, absolute power corrupts absolutely. Yeah. So surrogate McKenna West, an Alaskan nurse and mother of 2, rejected the biological parents' demands for an abortion after a 20-week diagnosis of hypoplastic left heart syndrome, a serious congenital defect that requires multiple surgeries but is treatable. West fled to Texas for legal protection and specialized care, giving birth to the boy, whom she named Gabriel. 28-year-old surrogate reveals an abortion was scheduled in Seattle for baby Gabriel. She escaped to Texas to give birth to the little boy, saving his life. Life doesn't have a price tag on it. Baby was born Wednesday. Yeah, the parents got custody of it, though. That's the thing. That's this story.
So I had the abortion scheduled in Seattle. Originally, I would have been 22 weeks at the time of this one. But I was having a really hard time finding somebody so last minute who could fly to Seattle with me. And so I rescheduled for a week later. I pushed it out. And at this point, it's the first week of May. And that just to allow myself more time to find a friend, a support person who could be there with me. And so I was originally supposed to fly out on a Tuesday, but now that I rescheduled, I had been at work, and my older brother had texted me during the day and just said, "Hey, give me a call when you get off. I just want to talk to you about something." And so I got off work like 7:30 at night and called my brother, and he just shared with me how deeply he did not want me to have to go through with this procedure, and he knew how I felt about it and how scared I was. And he told me that he had talked to his wife and that they would adopt this baby if it meant a way out for me. And he's like, "What can they take from you? Like, you have us, you have your family. They can try to come after money that you don't have. But like, we're here for you. You'll be taken care of." And he just let me know how much he loved me, and whatever I chose, he was here. He was there for me. But that just gave me so much courage and so much hope of a way out, and that I didn't have to do this. It was scary. Facing financial ruin was scary, but nothing was scarier.
Well, she's not sharing having an abortion. She said they wanted her to do it, and she scheduled it, and then she changed. She didn't want to do it. So, biological parents Nausheen Gilkar and Omar Ahmed, who refer to the child as Rummy, now have custody while she receives medical treatment. So now I'm wondering: are these people? Here's the question: are these people, these biological parents, are they United States citizens, or was this a the surrogacy thing done to give citizenship to the baby? I'm wondering. Okay, Anton, take care. Thanks a lot, buddy. See you soon. See you tomorrow, probably. If you're around tomorrow. So a separate temporary restraining order prohibits West from claiming to be the child's parent or making medical decisions on his behalf. So West's attorney has declared under Texas law that the woman who gives birth is a legal mother and vowed to challenge the California court order as void, saying the fight will go all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court if necessary. She is seeking parentage of the child because she gave birth in Texas, and in Texas, if you give birth, it's your child. West has publicly said she could not live with herself if she ended the pregnancy, and that Gabriel deserves to be surrounded by people who are willing to fight alongside him. Parents begging for abortion regained custody after the surrogate fled to Texas. Nausheen Gilkar and Omar Ahmed were trying to have their surrogate abort the baby. Oh. The biological parent's lawyer called the situation a family tragedy turned into political theater. As if the heartbreak of this condition aren't enough, it's devastating to see their family tragedy transformed into political theater. Nightly News cast the biological parents as the victims. Of course they do, because they wanted the baby to be killed. In Texas, the story is garnering a lot of headlines. A couple of surrogates now fighting for custody of the baby she carried, arguing she should be given the rights. Oh.
And in Texas, a story that is garnering a lot of headlines. A couple surrogate is now fighting for custody of the baby boy she carried, arguing she should be given parental rights instead of the biological parents who are also fighting for him. Ryan Chandler explains what led to this legal battle.
In Dallas, a boy's birth triggering a dramatic custody battle, pitting the baby's biological parents against the surrogate who carried him. The boy's California-based parents faced a devastating decision after a diagnosis at 20 weeks. They learned the baby, who was being carried by a surrogate from Alaska, had a serious heart condition called hypoplastic left heart syndrome. They chose to terminate the pregnancy. But gestational carrier McKenna West objected.
Gestational carrier. Look how gestational carrier. Look at how they oh my God. Gestational carrier. Oh. Do you remember when they did all the shit with the fucking the chicks in red You know, what was it called? The Handmaid's Tale. Remember that? Handmaid's Tale. Remember that shit? This is them. They said it was the right. It's the left that they don't consider a woman to be anything more than a gestational carrier, like a disease carrier. What the fuck is wrong with them?
Fleeing to Texas for medical care and legal refuge.
I didn't think that I could live with myself doing that.
West sharing her story with the anti-abortion organization Live Action. She's fighting for legal parenthood over the baby she carried to term in Texas.
I just know that he's a fighter and he deserves to be surrounded by people who are 100% willing to fight alongside him.
The boy was born Wednesday. West is calling him Gabriel, but he's roomy to his parents, who want to take him back to California for medical care. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton intervening to support the surrogate, urging a court to prohibit the child's removal from the state. The court sided with the state in part, blocking any attempt to transfer the child, while also prohibiting the gestational carrier from asserting any parental rights over him. Tonight, the biological parent's attorneys telling NBC News, as if the heartbreak of his condition were not enough, they are devastated to see their family tragedy transformed into political theater, adding, "Our client's only focus at this time is ensuring that their baby receives the medical care that he vitally needs, and that they, as his parents, are able to spend every precious moment they can with their beautiful newborn son." Ryan Chandler, NBC News, Dallas.
Crazy, man. Crazy. Though the courts appear to be siding with the biological parents for now, it's abundantly clear who King Solomon would be deemed the true parent is in this situation. We have to see, man. We have to see how this goes. This is going to be a problem. Like, in Texas courts are probably going to side with Texas and say, no, fuck you. Like, where does California think they got the right? The baby was born in Texas. California's going to get told. I would think California's going to get told to go fuck themselves. That's what I would say. I would, if I was on the Texas Supreme Court, I would just write, California, go fuck yourself. That would be my response. Yeah, that's true. What's so disgusting is this child's going through hell. Yeah. They wanted him dead. Yeah. Yeah, she should have just told him that. She should have just told the parents, I had an abortion. Lied and then left. Yes, U.S. harboring illegals are guilty of Article 363, Clause 1 treason. Yes. So Nigel Farage wins Clacton election while a quarter of voters chose a bin. Wow. What does that mean? So Nigel Farage won Clacton, 63% of the vote, more than 22,000 ballots on the face of it. Another clear win for reform. Then you look at second place, Count Binface. The bloke who campaigns with a metal bin on his head got 27% of the vote, more than a quarter of the entire turnout. Well, I mean, there wasn't a bin. It was a guy who wears a bin on his head. They also stiffed her on the medical bills. Yeah. Yeah, give the baby to another couple and don't let these people reproduce again. It's not a bad idea. It's really not. You don't understand the world you're living in? None of us do. It's crazy times. The main parties didn't even bother turning up. No Labor, no Conservatives, no Liberal Dems, no Greens. The whole thing became Farage versus a joke candidate with a few independents and a tiny parties. So, two things happened at once. The big party stepped aside and handed Farage a free run, whether they thought it wasn't worth the fight or they were just too weak and embarrassed to stand. Results are the same. By election turned into choice between reform and pure farce. So Farage himself isn't in the clear. Winning doesn't make the election authorities' investigation disappear. They're still looking at parts of his campaigning and registration. So, and then there's the count. Farage didn't turn up. He said it was a credible threat against him. So British democracy always worked with the idea of elections. Well, you know, Clacton doesn't prove democracy is finished. It shows that a lot of people no longer see the usual parties as useful ways to express themselves. So good for Farage. President Trump rings another American home, announces the return of Christian missionary Kevin Rideout, who's been kidnapped and held by jihadi terrorists in West Africa. Well, that's good news, right? That's good news. We heard about the Marine that came home the other day, and now this guy. What's up, Sweet Daydreams? Great to see you. President Trump announced the release and return of Christian missionary Kevin Rideout, who was taken hostage in 2024 by jihadi terrorists. He worked serving in mission, a global evangelical organization based out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He'd been serving in Niger for about 19 years as a pilot. He was abducted by 3 armed men outside his home. This is the same place where they're killing Christians left and right. Yes, WD Daisy, it is amazing news. Yes, Farage is a righteous dude. Iron curtain on the straight. Yeah, that's what we need. Oh, hey, I just noticed we just went past 2 hours and 25 minutes, so I need to reset the goal on YouTube for another hour because we are currently, right now, as we speak, we are currently $70 away from adding a second additional hour to the show. So, so everybody knows. All right. So I'll reset it for 1 hour. We'll do this. See, I got tons of stories, people. Tons of stories. We can go all night. It's up to you guys. I'm good to go. Let's hope not what? Do we go all night? Why would you want to? So he was abducted by 3 armed men. While no group publicly claimed responsibility, and his exact captors or conditions for more than 9 months remain murky. He was kidnapped from outside his home. He's in good health and in care of the U.S. officials who soon be reunited with his wife and children. We ask that you respect the privacy of him and his family. Proud to announce that Kevin Rideout, a wonderful Christian missionary, is back in the United States custody. Well, that's good news. I wonder, did we rescue him? Was there some kind of operation? They're not saying. I wonder if there was some kind of military operation to rescue him. I'd really like to hear that story. Oh, we got this next story. Another thing with Trump here. Trump leaves stage mid-speech to embrace parents of the 12-year-old killed by a stray bullet in the Bronx. I thought Jim said he was abducted by a 3-armed man. Yes. Be careful of the 1-armed man. One guy with 3. And this one had none.
Two weeks ago, a wonderful 12-year-old boy named Jacob Fritz, you read about this one, was tragically shot and killed by a stray bullet fired by a repeat offender in a gun battle. He was having a gun battle with his friend, shooting bullets all over the place. Jacob was the son of a loving mom and a retired New York City police detective, and they are incredible people. And I heard that they may be with us today. Are you with us? May I introduce you? Please. Incredible, horrible story. What a horrible thing.
So Trump walks off stage to comfort grieving parents. He stepped off the stage to comfort the family of the 12-year boy who was killed by a stray bullet in the Bronx. Trump was speaking to the Nassau County Police Academy. We mentioned Jacob Freitas, a boy who was killed last month by a stray bullet while sitting on his bike outside a bodega. It was a beautiful impromptu moment. Trump exits stage in the middle of the speech. Yes, I love this president, True. Me too. He's a good egg, this president. Bella decided she's going to go back and lay in her bed again. She's very moving around a lot tonight here. She goes. Now she's going to make herself a nest. Nesting up. This lady dyed her eyebrows too and her hair. Yes, video volume has been lacking. Then it's Jim on the mic. Well, I'm sorry. I can't. I turn it up as best I can. I apologize. Is my voice low on the mic? Is that what you're telling me? All right. So before leaving the stage, Trump mentioned Fritz's while talking about his administration's efforts to lower crime. Jacob was the son of a loving mom, retired New York City police detective, and they are incredible people. Migdalia Martinez and retired New York PD Sergeant Jesus Fletes watched as President Trump speak about their son. Then left the stage and hugged Fretes and his father, the retired NYPD sergeant, saying a few private words. Incredible, horrible story. What a horrible thing. What we're going after them. They are sick, bad people. His death, Fretes' death has prompted Republicans to introduce Jacob's Law in the New York State legislature that would put harsher penalties on criminals whose reckless actions result in the death of a child. I gave my kids and I walked out. We always do a little dolphin kiss, and then I walked out and went to work, Martinez told Fox and Friends. Around 5 o'clock, they called me and said he'd gotten shot. All I could do was think of different ways to get there faster. When I got there, I just see my boy gone. Oh, my God. You are high and contrast to low video. Okay. I could turn my volume down. Is this better? Is this better for everybody? The volume better for me now? Police said William Ferrier was arrested and faces multiple charges, including second-degree murder. He's pleaded not guilty. Ferrier has an arrest record dating back more than 25 years. No? It's not better? Is that better? I don't know. So police say William Ferrier was arrested and faces multiple charges, including second-degree murder. He has pleaded not guilty. He has an arrest record dating back 25 years. Prior charges for drunk driving, drug possession, menacing, criminal contempt, many other cases. Many such cases, they say. That's what they say. Many such cases. Oh, and then we've got another case of another crazy story. You got a man convicted of kidnapping and raping a Tampa DoorDash driver was dragged out of court after an outburst. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
And jury number 25, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes. All right, so sit down, Mr. Killams. So there's
Wait a minute, this guy's name is Mr. Killams? Are you people deaf? I'm lowering my volume. Jim is killing me. He's saying I'm too loud? What do you want me to do? Someone tell me. Hey, what's up, Dalu? Great to see you. Jim Loud, video quiet. His name is Killams. Wow, that's a crazy name.
All right, so Rich, I want you to take the jury into the jury room.
Jury exiting courtroom.
What's going on, Mr. Killens?
That bitch man. I ain't do no shit like that.
All right.
To that mother. I don't want to tell Naya and them what happened, man.
He goes in the holding cell. Make sure the closed circuit TV is working. Mr. Hackworth, I don't want you to go in, but I want you to go back in a few seconds and make sure the closed circuit TV is working that we've had set up. And he's going to watch this part from in there. Okay.
Right. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. That guy didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing, that guy. So a courtroom outburst led to a man being dragged out of court. Joseph Killens. Man, he killing people. He kills them. He was trial for, well, he didn't kill this one. He just kidnapped her and sexually battered a woman who made a late night DoorDash delivery in April 2023. Authorities say he threatened the victim with a gun, forced her to drive to Ballroom Lakes. He sexually battered her there. At the time, the woman was on the phone with her girlfriend. Her family was able to track her down. When the family arrived to rescue her, Killen shot at them, hitting another woman. Both victims were hospitalized. Police arrested Killens the days after they connected him to another attack on another woman the following day. What? Why wasn't he killed? A jury convicted him of kidnapping with a firearm, sexual battery with a firearm, armed battery, armed first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, I'm sorry. Killen showed signs of emotional distress as accounts were read, placing his hands on his face before putting his head down. Oh, okay. Yeah. As the judge verified the juror's verdict, Killens, he began standing up, tried to stand up again. Deputies rushed to restrain him. That bitch lying, man. I didn't do no shit like that. Judge promptly ordered deputies to remove him from the courtroom. Okay. Well, he should get something. But he didn't do nothing. That's right. Kidnap and sexual abuse. What's the big deal, man? Let my people go. Saying. I'm sure he's white. Killams was a tell. Yes, it was. No name McCain. That's right. Is that Florida, Jim? I believe that's Florida. Yes. That's Tampa. Tampa, Florida. I didn't do shit. That's right. So, massive explosion shatters Italian factory south of Rome that supplies munitions to Ukraine. Boom. A blast that reminds us that war is not so far away. Yes. He's black. He's the victim. Yes. He's being oppressed. It's the wrong state to do nothing. That's right. Florida does not take pity on the do-nothings. A gigantic explosion shattered through a munitions factory near the town of Colleferro, southeast of Rome. The blast was heard for miles. Yeah, when can we just stop this shit? You ain't kidding. We need to stop something. Go pay his bail, Jim. No. Nuh-uh. Explosion occurred when firefighters were already at the site responding to a fire. The plant is operated by a Franco-German defense group, KNDS, via KDNS Ambo, Italy, a subsidiary group. So the French and the Germans got together, and they're in Italy making ammunition. You can't make this up. The French and the Germans got together to make bombs for Ukraine, and they did it in Italy. Wow.
Cancel.
So that was about 4 miles away. That was a big explosion that they saw 4 miles away. That's crazy. We're gonna watch that again. I want you guys to count. It works the same as it does with lightning. When you see the explosions, count 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000.
Cancel.
Maybe 6 miles, 5, 6 miles away. He thinks it's not a boo-boo. Yes. Static probably did this, not Russia. That could be. Wow, but that explosion blew the fire out. Problem solved. Oh. French and Germans, you can stop right there. But yeah, they said the Franco-German company. That's a Franco. That's, French, Frankish, Francos, right? Am I wrong? Unless they were saying like that guy who was the dictator of Spain, Franco. What are they talking about? Florida has mandatory time. Nothing a judge can do other than read the law and tell the convict it's time. Yep. Some people just have it persecuted, drilled in their heads that they're persecuted. Yeah. That's what they do. Boom. It says this is a blaze at a fireworks factory in Malta caused massive explosion. That's another big one. A lot of this stuff be happening. All right, now we're going to talk about this crazy guy running for Senate. That's definitely not the dictator. Okay. El Sayed's half-sister offered October 7th blessing 1 year after Hamas attack. Allahu Akbar. Wow, let me know. University of Chicago professor Imam al-Bidayah cast the Muslim Palestinians as victims while wearing a kafaya in a speech. This one. Ugh.
My name is Iman Abdel Hadi. I'm a Palestinian Egyptian organizer and scholar and writer. I want to say Allahu Akbar. That phrase means God is greater, and it's an important phrase in the Muslim tradition.
Okay, so she's all happy about them killing all those Jews.
It's one that I've been thinking about a lot over the last year.
Okay, yeah, over the last year. So God is great. There you go. So this University of Chicago professor, the half-sister, why is it a half-sister? What does this mean? She was praising the killing of 1,200 people in widespread terrorist attacks. Throughout her video commemorating the terrorist attack, she makes no mention of the Jews being killed. She filmed her blessing wearing a kafia. Yeah. Abdul loves his sister and also disagrees with her on a number of political positions. Bullshit. He's using takia. She's being honest. He's using takia. That's what's going on. Yeah, which half? Which half is the half? Oh, look at there's she Cook County Sheriff's Office. So why is she a university professor and yet she's got a picture of her being booked into Cook County Jail? Her sister recorded a celebration video reaction to October 7th. Abdel Dalahadi, who previously faced legal trouble, including an October 2025 arrest, she spat on a state trooper. Well, that's a battery on a state trooper during protests. She was charged with 2 felony counts of aggravated battery to a government employee. They probably dropped the fucking charges, though, didn't they? Unearthed El Sayed essay draws explosive Trump bin Laden parallel. Oh, what do you know? Go figure. So El Sayed sent a fundraising email on the second anniversary of the October 7th attacks. He criticized Israel's government. Oh, of course he did. There he is, meeting with Hassan Piker, the guy who said that there was that even the children were settlers and they needed to die. That's what Hassan Piker said. Yep. And he said that the blood should be running through the streets with anybody who owns buildings, all the what do you call them? Yeah. So you get what you get. You get what you get. This is a bystander appears to capture a new B-21 Raider stealth bomber flying low over Wichita. Video taken Tuesday appears to show a rare glimpse of the latest stealth weapon. The B-21 Raider was taken near McConnell Air Force Base. Yes, the Durka guys. Yes, they are, the Durkas. The plane's first test flight was in 2023. A mysterious aircraft spotted over McConnell Air Force Base in Kansas, fueling speculation it may have been top secret B-21 Raider. Oh, damn. That thing looks crazy. Looks like a stingray. See, why has that got the thing hanging off the back? Because it looks like a fucking stingray. What is going on? They missed if that is the plane should have been called the Stingray or something like that. Looks like a plane, though. Yeah. The B-21 bomber was developed to replace the B-1 and B-2. The B-21 Raider will be a dual-capable, penetrating strike stealth bomber capable of delivering both conventional and nuclear munitions. Yeah, it looks like a fish, like I'm saying, a stabilizer. Yeah, but it looks like I'm saying, like the tail looks like a stingray's tail. You know what I mean? Like a manta ray. They should have called it like a manta. Stingray would have been a cool name. Yeah, they should have called it like the stingray or the manta. Yeah, always has been. Yeah, the B-21 Raider. Yeah. will form the backbone of the future Air Force, consisting of B-21s and B-52s. Like, it's pretty crazy that we're replacing the planes that were built 40 years after the B-52s, but we're still keeping the B-52s. Dragonfly something. Yeah, call it the Dragonfly something. The Raider continues test flights at Edwards, including ground testing, taxiing, and radar flying operations. So this is the plane, supposedly. What was coming off the back of it? Wow. Wow. Air Force said operational status is expected to be achieved in the mid-2020s. Nuclear modernization, sorry. The B-52s just got an upgrade like a decade ago. Yeah, they're still, the airframes are still fucking older, like 70 years old. Like in Caveman with Ringo Starr, a great bad movie. Whatever the prehistoric giant dragonfly was. Yeah, something like that. Scorpion. Yeah, something. The built-in feature of open systems architecture on the B-21 makes the bomber effective as threat environments evolve. The B-21 will be a component in a larger family of systems, long-range strike, including intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. The B-21 will fly with a bit of history in its name. The B-21 Raider is named in honor of the historic Doolittle Raiders. We're known for the surprise attack on Japan, which forced the Japanese to recall combat forces for home defense and boosted morale among Americans. The designation B-21 recognizes the Raider as the first bomber of the 21st century. B-52s are my dad's age. Rest in peace, Dad. Yeah, I mean, they first went on B-52. That's 1952. That's how they used to name stuff. So the Air Force has estimated that each plane is going to cost $639 million. The Air Force plans to order 100 of the planes. Well, they're not going to get that many. They're going to cut it down. Just like they cut down the fucking Raptors when we should have 700 Raptors. Instead of the 180 or whatever it is we got. All right. Pete Hegseth is pissed off that the Army scraps the new SAT minimum to screen out stupid officers. We need to screen out stupid officers. We really do. Secretary of War is fuming over the Army's decision to withdraw new academic standards for college students in the ROTC program, including requiring scoring of at least 1,000 on the SAT to ensure that stupid people aren't becoming military officers. Was it Obama that cut the F-22s? Yes, it was Obama. It was Obama that did it. Please join Lights, Camera, Citation after Jim's show tonight. Oh, there you go. Yeah, go over there, check them out. They're good people over there. They are. I like them guys. They're good guys. Good people. They're good people. Over there, over here, over there. We will So the Army must cultivate intelligence adapted officers to build lethal and ready army prepared to deter, fight, and win our nation's wars. I have to agree. Why do we want stupid Army officers? So Pentagon sources say the pivot demonstrated dysfunction within the Army, whose Secretary Dan Driscoll's clashed with Hegseth over the past year. Well, Dan Driscoll needs to get fucking fired then. I've heard a lot of shit that he's been fucking around behind the scenes pulling shit. The Raider is a scaled down spirit. That's what it looks like. I have friends that taught ROTC. They're literally dealing with some cadets that can't put together a coherent sentence or write correctly. A modest policy like this is a move in the right direction, especially in an environment where the quality of a formal college education is less than what it was. 1,000s on the SAT isn't nothing. It ain't. I was watching Jameson things morning complaining about all the fat, stupid personnel that make TikToks. Oh, yeah, they're crazy. So the now rescinded standards would have allowed incoming candidates to alternately submit an ACT score or of a 20 or a score above 50 percentile. These are really common sense policies everyone should get behind. Every branch of the U.S. military, except for the Army, has minimum requirements to become a commissioned officer via ROTC. Wow. Wow. For where we go, we'll always know that the Army goes rolling along. Be all that you can be in the Army. Oh, they're not. They're looking at it. We should be looking at the other end. College ROTC programs are the largest pipeline for incoming Army officers, ranging between 40 and 70% in recent years. Hexas has pushed to tighten other standards for military officers, including fitness and grooming policies, and reduce the prevalence of fat generals and beardos. The Army's in lockstep with Secretary Hexet and the President's direction. The Army spokesman says they're evaluating proposed changes to the ROTC candidate standards. Yeah, well, Secretary of the Army might need to get forward. Wow. And speaking of Nigeria, 3 Christian brothers slain, wife finds bodies after the attack. No men in skirts, Klinger. That's right. Oh, gross. Fulani herdsmen killed 3 brothers in a nighttime ambush. And when they say Fulani herdsmen, what they mean is Muslims, Islamists, jihadists. Yes, we do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day, because after 9, we don't do shit. According to the Gayak Danki village head, the attackers hid in surrounding cornfields. After removing cattle through the area earlier in the day, 2 brothers were shot while sitting outside the house. The third was killed while asleep inside. Gunfire was heard in the community. The killings went undiscovered for over an hour. If they heard gunfire, then why didn't they know there was killings? Danki described the security situation as having worsened in recent days. Death is now a daily occurrence. On what would stop the attacks, he said that the government and security forces need to do something. Always vote them in, and they kill us on a daily basis. Oh, it's crazy. How can you get killed on a daily basis? So, asked what he would tell Christians abroad, he said unity is needed to fight the Fulanis because this is a genocide. He said he rejected the characterizations of the violence as simple farmer versus herder conflict, stating that the killings are occurring in Plateau, Benue, and Naswasa states, that anyone denying genocide is lying. Listen, all y'all, it's a genocide. Army, we fuck up more by 9 a.m. than most people in their entire day. Sometimes. Despite MacBan's denials of the involvement in the attacks, the group has come under scrutiny from the U.S. government. House resolution in 2025 called the state and Treasury departments to impose global Magnitsky sanctions, including visa bans and asset freezes on MacBan and Mayeti ala Katulikore, according to the Fulani ethnic militias operating in the Benue and Plateau states, have been designated as entities of particular concern under International Religious Freedoms Act. Why don't we just call them fucking terrorists? Don't see what you need to do is just call them terrorists. They're making up all these weird little nomenclatures for them. Nigerian Attorney General Lateef Fagbemi led the prosecution of 9 defendants arraigned before the federal high court on a 57-count terrorism charge over the June 13, 2025 attack on Yelawata village in Guma, which killed 150 people. Some Nigerian media also have alleged that he instructed militia fighters across Benue, Nasrallah, and Plateau states. A second defendant, named as Harosana Abdullani, was accused of soliciting funds at a meeting place, offering weapons, and contributing N$300,000 for the attack. Yeah, they really love that word, genocide, today. It appears a pattern has become more entrenched in Nigeria, with local communities continuing to suffer attacks. Residents are not only being attacked, killed, or kidnapped by the Fulanis, but are also seeing their ability to earn a living restricted. Meanwhile, the militants possess fully automatic weapons as opposed to partially automatic. And there are allegations that these attacks are being funded through elements connected to the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, MACBAN. MACBAN. Woke ex-Cambridge University professor once hailed as diversity poster boy before massive plagiarism scandal ruined his career is found dead. Well, I mean, how do we not know that he could be lying about being dead? Saw a video of a Nigerian army checkpoint waving through raiders on dirt bikes and motorcycles, literally waving. Yeah. That's what's going on. The government is quietly backing it. Genocide is really watered down. Yeah, it is. This clown. Cambridge really went to shit. A far-left professor hailed as a diversity poster boy before his career was ruined in a massive plagiarism scandal. He's now unexpectedly passed away. The UK Telegraph reported scandal-plagued Cambridge professor Jason R. Day was discovered dead on Friday after resigning his position earlier this month at the school over credible allegations that he plagiarized and lied on his resume. Yeah. He said he was in a fucking TV show that was filmed 30 years before he was born. Bert Weinstein talked about the Cambridge professor. Yeah. Know your nomenclature and use it often. That's right. Genocide, racism, and phobia favorites of the demon rats. Yes, it is. A paper notes that the 41-year-old R. Day was found unresponsive in South London and later pronounced dead. 41-year-old man was pronounced dead at the scene. His next of kin has been informed. At the time of his death is being treated as unexpected, but it's not believed to be suspicious. Didn't I say Brett Weinstein? I thought I did. He is dead. Yes, he is dead. Looking at the roots of words, genocide literally will require all of our genus to die. There you go. At the time of his death, is being treated as unexpected but not suspicious. Arde was once hailed as a poster child for DEI after becoming the youngest ever black professor at Cambridge in March of 2023. But then they realized he was a fucking retard. Outlets from across the world lavished him with embarrassing praise, calling him a superstar academic, a diversity poster boy, and the world's most famous living sociologist. Guardian notes, Arde delivered a speech at the 75th anniversary conference of the British Sociological Association, claiming that white conservative and right-wing activists have utilized a distinctive playbook to discredit black academics by accusing them of plagiarism and citation errors. Arde added that it was a cancer that must be eradicated. So you must eradicate conservatives, is what he said. So Substack post by Nathan Kofnes, a philosopher at the University of Ghent and self-defined race realist who was fired by Cambridge in 2024, claimed that Arde's PhD thesis, an exploration of peer monitoring among students to inform reflective practice, whatever, was plagiarized after having put through plagiarism detection software. Did I say Bert? Oh, maybe. Killed by his own racist hand. Yeah, it's terrible. The Telegraph reported that the analysis found more than 100 passages in the PhD were similar to another thesis by Paula Zwardiak-Myers, a student at Brunel University in London, published 6 years earlier. In the article targeted Cambridge's diversity poster boy in plagiarism row. They cited David Harris, no relation to Matthew C. Harris, peace be upon him, the stellar academic who penned Unbreaded, death sentences. He's quoted as saying, in my opinion, important sections of the work by Arde, both his PhD thesis and subsequent published articles, seem to display indications of serious plagiarism. Zuzu pedals Bert. Okay. Cambridge University initially responded by saying that those accusations of plagiarism were racist. Then they opened an investigation and the left-wing Guardian expose. Arde resigned the next day. Yeah. Peace be upon the unredded. Yes. So, yeah. So someone accused you of plagiarism. Racism. Well, wait, it's real. All right, I resign. This is like happening all over the place. It's like Cambridge are deranged, it is said. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Ukrainian prosecutor Joe Biden fired for investigating Hunter Biden's Burisma just exposed $350 billion in taxpayer dollars meant for Ukraine going straight to globalist networks. You don't say. You don't say. You don't say. Say it ain't so. A white woman ignored him once and he went with it. Oh, yeah. Verify you are human. Beep, bop, beep, beep, bop, beep. I am human. Beep, bop, beep. Viktor Shokin. Ukrainian Prosecutor General Viktor Shokin, an official Joe Biden publicly threatened and forced out of office in 2016, says that his first-person account, massive sums of U.S. aid intended for Ukraine were recycled through political and globalist networks. Hello, yes, a lot of it came back to the U.S. and funded the fucking Democrat Party. He alleges $350 billion in American taxpayer money was diverted into these opaque channels amid the chaos of wars. Arms deals were tainted by corruption. Wartime disorder facilitated trafficking of Ukrainian women and children. The book paints the conflict itself as a vehicle for enrichment and influence far beyond the battlefield. You don't say. 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 So Shokin was a prosecutor investigating Zlochevsky and Burisma Holdings, the same corrupt energy company that put Hunter Biden on its board. Joe Biden later famously boasted on video that he told them they weren't getting $1 billion unless they fired him. Son of a bitch, he got fired. Shokin presents a stark thesis. He argues that the war in Ukraine has become a vehicle for corruption and hidden agendas, extending far beyond the battlefield. Yeah, everybody can see it. Everybody knows it. He claims $350 billion with a B, taxpayer dollars was recycled through political and globalist networks. The grave allegations that come from a man who says he paid a personal price for getting too close to the uncomfortable truths. The book lays out names, dates, and meetings and episodes that Shokin say connect the Burisma investigation to the effort to fire him. So he gave an interview, and she said that the firm personal conviction that the dismissal resulted from Burisma investigation. And the allegations involving missing IMF and American funds connected to Ukraine and Privat Bank. Wasn't the university professor Enola Gay get caught doing plagiarism? Yeah. Yeah, her name's not Enola, I don't think. It was just Gay. I think her last name was Gay. She got caught and got fired. They get back like a penny on the dollar usually. It's crazy. So yeah, go figure. Like we didn't know this. Like we didn't know this, man. I just want to point out to everybody, just so everybody knows, so nobody says it snuck up on them. I'm not running like a telethon or anything, but we just passed the 3-hour mark. So that means, according to the goal on YouTube, we have 23 minutes left to hit the goal for another second hour, and we are $70 away from adding a second hour, just so you know. That's it. Last time I'll bring it up. This is a fucking story that's going to enrage you because it enraged me. All right. A Texas mom let her boyfriend beat her toddler nearly to death and didn't want him arrested. Right? Well, I know, kidding, Enola Gay. Yeah, I know her first name wasn't Enola, but her name was Gay. It was like Chancellor Gay, but I don't remember her first name. Just Texas mom lets her boyfriend beat her toddler nearly to death and didn't want him arrested. Huh. I think they make wood chippers big enough to get them both in there at the same time. Just saying. Yeah, she loves him, not her son. It's, shitty thing. But a Texas mother's been arrested after her 2-year-old daughter was repeatedly abused by her boyfriend while her mother failed to seek medical attention because she didn't want him to go to jail. 28-year-old Jasmine Cisneros and her 29-year-old boyfriend, Gerardo Gonzalez, were reportedly at a gas station north of Houston seeking help for the severely injured toddler. Witnesses called 911, leading police to arrive and perform life-saving measures on the unresponsive child. Yes. Almost a cyclops. Yeah. Dirtbag. Fargo justice. Yes. I can build that chipper. Look at this. 2 hours rally. Well, thank you. for the rally. Thank you so much. That means, folks, we're now just 68 away from adding a second additional hour to the show. Just need a unibrow. Yeah, dull chipper. Yeah. More like a grinder or one of them like pulverizer mashers. The toddler was transported to the hospital with life-threatening injuries before being transferred to another hospital for surgery. The 2-year-old is on life support as of Thursday. The Daily Mail noted that Gonzalez had admitted to repeatedly assaulting the child. Authorities allege he struck her in the head multiple times, punched her in the chest, lower back, and buttocks, and stomped on her pelvis. The toddler suffered a fractured skull, broken pelvis, and a lacerated liver. The court filing stated the child is not expected to survive. Oh, these people should not survive. Gonzalez was arrested and charged with causing seriously bodily injury to a child. During the investigation, law enforcement alleged that Cisneros knew the child had been injured but failed to obtain medical treatment. Prosecutors said Cisneros did not report the abuse because she didn't want Gonzalez to go to jail. She was arrested and charged with the same felony offenses as Gonzalez. You can almost see the mental derangement of her just looking at her. This is horrible, isn't it? It's horrible. Horrible. Hey, another 2 for Rally. Rally. Thank you so much. That means we're just 66 away now, folks. Just 66 away from a second additional hour. Thank you so much. She let him beat her kid. How about a 10,000 feet jump with no parachute in the Rockies for the mom and a chipper for the boyfriend or whatever he is? I agree, man. I agree. Good, the kid will be removed from them. Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully a kid will never be around them again. A hammer mill would work. Yes, it would. Our thoughts are with the young toddler as she continues to fight for her life. Cases involving children are the most heartbreaking first responders encounter. We remain committed to seeking justice on her behalf. This is just brutal. I mean, that what's it called? Physiognomy, something like that. With those eyes, means something. I think Apple takes that penny too. Yeah, they do. Apple sucks. So, this is some a slight bit of good news out of Texas, though slightly good news. I mean, some good news, a little bit. Fujiyama. Okay, they match. Yeah, the mountain. Havana on the Wilmette. Contrarian by name. Is this Greg? I think we just found Greg. Greg got a new name, Contrarian by nature. He's the only one that ever said that. Greg changed his name to try to trick me. He's being very tricksy, Greg. That's good Greg, not bad Greg. Mount Fuji. Yes. Her eyes are so closed, they traded places. Yes. Dallas Airport cancels plan to install Islamic foot washing stations after Governor Abbott intervenes. Dallas Fort Worth Airport on Friday canceled plans. This is Greg. Greg. What's up, buddy? Great to see you. Thanks for coming back. So they reported this week to Texas Department of Licensing and Regulations that the project consists of adding an ablution station on concourse level restrooms in Terminal D, one men's, one's woman's. The construction was set to begin in a week and would cost $300,000. We're going to build a foot washing. They don't even have those in Europe, foot washing stations. Yeah, it's crazy. It's no extras. That's right. Dallas Airport's now installing a dedicated Islamic wudu foot washing stations. It's wudu that they do, but you do what do. They should install hand washing stations because they don't use toilet paper. Why are we accommodating Muslims? I don't see the other sect fucking accommodations. We're a retarded nation. Well, that's what I'm saying. They got rid of it. Governor Abbott said, hell no, we won't go. Yeah, we need them to get all out. That's right. Get them all out. Get them out of here. Somehow the new Muslims think they can do way more in the USA because of our freedoms. Oh, they do. They're going to poop in that. Probably. Same but it used to be. So Governor Abbott announced he was working to block DFW from installing Islamic voodoo washing stations. The voodoo that you do with voodoo is not going to happen in Texas, according to Governor Abbott. These ablation facilities appear designed to single out one subset of the population for special treatment based on religion, and that's illegal. Both airports are government-owned facilities, and federal and state constitution prohibits government from facilitating this sort of discrimination. That's right. DFW told Fox it's been evaluating a proposal to add abulation stations at the pre-security side, but accelerated the review following increased public attention. Jim still can't pronounce Willamette. Wilmette. While that evaluation was planned, the airport accelerated its review due to elevated public interest, and it's not going to proceed. Hassan Piker slowly turned, step by step, inch by inch. Let's see. Should black teachers be paid more for extra burden of being black? Oh, wow. So they want to pay people more based on their race. I heard Al Sayed is about to lose to Michigan. Is that a false alarm? Willamette. That's what I said, Willamette. Supposedly, he's down by like 10 points. He's like, this is the worst anyone's ever, like, his polling is horrible, according to CNN guy, which, according to the CNN man, bring me a dream. Let me look. I thought I had it somewhere. It was a report. I saw it. There might actually be good news too coming out of Minnesota, because that the Senate race in Minnesota, that what's his face, the one that the Dems got on there is the vice or the lieutenant governor, and she was all involved in the fraud shit, the fraud. Will M. Et. Yeah, Will M. Met. I got it. Let them have the foot washing stations. I want to be able to light candles at an altar like a good Catholic. There you go. I think the commies had their day in the sun. Yeah. Oh, what do you know? So this woman with cat ears on her head thinks that you should be able to get paid more. Pegger Flanagan. Yeah. Minnesota and fraud, never. And we'll see what happens. It might be, she might have to eat it. She dudes, not two M's in it. Okay. Democrat school board chair is facing fierce backlash after a video emerged of her arguing that black and brown teachers should receive financial incentives because being a minority is extra burden. What if I'm a teacher and can prove that there were slaves at my place before they were here and had some percentage of black in my family? What's my salary? Just got to give you a whole bunch of stuff. So Latoya Yangeloff, vice chair of the West Hartford board, made the remarks during a public meeting. Are there financial incentives for black and brown people to work here while wearing cat ears? It's an extra burden, quite frankly, to be black and brown. And so I think we need to start thinking about financially, if we're not already. We got money. Oh, so wow, that's crazy. That's crazy that she would say this shit. So yeah, like, are these people this fucking stupid?
So I know we have like some efforts to increase diversity in the district. So I'm wondering, especially around administration, are there financial incentives for black and brown people to work here? It's an extra burden, quite frankly, to be a black and brown teacher and administrator in the district. And so I think we should start thinking about that financially if we're not already. but I know we call ourselves leaders, and I know we have an Office of Equity and Belonging, so I'm sure we can figure it out. We got money. It's West Hartford.
So she's a vocal member of the Democrat Party, was appointed to the board in 2023 for being elected to a full term. She serves as its vice chair. And she's an equity leader, community advocate with a background in restorative justice and DEI. Okay. She sparked outrage with the social media post attacking celebration of the 250th anniversary, saying that because slavery remained legal after its independence, celebrating the country's founding was comparable to celebrating the Holocaust. Mm-hmm. Yeah, cat ears at a meeting. It's crazy. This is what we're in, man. Low-key reparations. You get paid if you work is all the incentive there should be. Need. That's right. Oh, you got it right there at the bottom. There you go. That's the one. That's the one. Thank you. I thought I had it. But that's a good one. I want to get to that one. So, would you celebrate historic beginnings of the Holocaust? It's like celebrating a nightmare that built the country. These people with this thing is like, I can't anymore with it. I can't. They got money, so let's spend it. Yeah. I'm so sick of the Gibbs me dats. I really am. And after the backlash, she doubled down and said that she stands by the heart of her message. Yeah. And said, oh, so someone called her the N-word. Oh, okay. You know what? And that's another thing. They use the word nonstop. Black people use the N-word nonstop. I don't care. I don't want to hear it no more. If you stopped using the word, other people would not use it. You would never hear it. The only way you hear it is it's coming out of other people's mouths. Yeah, so I'm black and brown, so you owe me. Yeah, I guess so. They shouldn't be paid until the students can read. That's right. Maybe we should pay them based on the number of people that actually can pass a class. That would be a good thing, right? CNN's Harry's Anton says Michigan voters not impressed with Abdul. He's a weak candidate. They use the W word all the time, too. Yeah. Work? Welfare? I don't know. According to a new poll, CNN says that Michigan voters hate this Democratic socialist clown. He thinks fireworks sucks. He hates the Second Amendment. He doesn't like Mackinac. He's a real piece of work.
What butter really does to the body of someone with diabetes. That's why diabetes doesn't exist in Israel. It might.
Oh.
My fellow patriots, the first thing the globalists and the leftists do when they want to silence you is go after your merchant accounts.
I believe that we do need to defund the police.
I actually believe in court reform, right? In Supreme Court reform, the president should get 3 appointments. You can either use your appointment to give somebody who's on the court a second 10-year term and limit everybody's terms to 10 years, or you can include somebody else. Would that expand the court? Sure. But there's nothing in the Constitution that says there have to be 9 justices. And like the things that I actually look at.
But it's actually in the Constitution that they serve, that it's a lifetime appointment. They serve while in good behavior. So that 10-year term, you would have to change the Constitution.
On Instagram, right? Of course, we get served that on your For You page. But then like every third video that scrolls on its own is going to be some OnlyFans model. I think the foundational issue here is we need to start taxing billionaire wealth, right? And when you tax billionaire wealth, you disincentivize the accumulation of wealth. If you cannot stand for trans rights, do not be surprised when they come for your rights. I look forward to pushing forward legislation that would preempt localities from participating with ICE. We've also got to make sure that in this state, we are not discriminating by documentation status. Right now, if you're undocumented, you don't get access to a driver's license, so you're stuck. You don't get access to a lot of the basic things the state offers everybody else. And I think that's ridiculous. And so we've got to stop discriminating that way.
There is no reforming. There is no retraining. There is only abolishing ICE.
Fuck ICE. That you can't reform ICE. You can't retrain ICE. You have to abolish ICE. It was a bad experiment. It's been weaponized to do the worst things. And I think we need to abolish it and start from scratch. I think he should be impeached. I do not think he should be president of the United States. I think he's done impeachable things. Obviously, as a future senator, I'm not in a position to impeach. But when they make the case about the impeachable things I have seen with my own eyes, I will vote accordingly.
So do you think that the Israeli government should be considered by the U.S. as a foreign terrorist organization?
It's certainly a rogue state.
You're not going to play the gotcha game, but you're not going to say you.
So anyway, all right. So So yeah, so this is guy Mike Rogers. So we'll get down here. So CNN is stunned that Michigan voters hate Abdul. He's the first Democrat down this much in a century. He's a weak candidate. Look how far underwater he is. He's down 13 points.
In Senate, Rogers versus Elside. Look at this, a new Fox News poll. Rogers is actually up by 4 points. He's up by 4 points. It's close, but a Republican is ahead in Michigan. And why? Why? What is going on? Look among independents. Rogers actually leads by 5. This is extremely unusual because across the political map, as I was looking at these different Fox News polls, I couldn't find another example where the Republican was actually leading among independents. And it turns out that candidate quality may in fact matter, at least in terms of how voters see it, because in this same poll, the Democratic candidate for governor was ahead. So this is unique to the Senate race, and it is quite a troubling result for Democrats and quite a heartening one for Republicans.
So do you have a sense then, Harry, of what it is that is contributing to the struggles, right, that Abdul El-Sayed is? Is it that Rogers is a stronger candidate, or is it that El-Sayed has more issues for voters to deal with?
It is all about Abdul El-Sayed. He is a weak candidate, at least by the metrics that we normally look at. And you could just take a look here. Okay, the net favorability rating of the Dem Senate candidates across these northern battlegrounds. You notice there's only one candidate, Ren, one who has an unfavorable rating higher than his favorable rating, and it is significantly higher. Look how far underwater Abdul El-Sayed is. He is 13 points underwater, under there in Lake Michigan. My goodness gracious. Troy Jackson in Maine, he's at +1. You got Sherrod Brown at +4 in Ohio, and Josh Turek in Iowa way above there at +18 points. This is extremely unusual. Again, across the map, Democrats have done such a good job recruiting candidates who are well-liked by the voters. Again, I looked at all the Fox News polls. All the Democrats were above water except for Abdul El-Sayed, and he is 13 points underwater. This is all about Abdul El-Sayed being a weak candidate, at least in the minds of the voters.
And so then just putting that in perspective too, in the state of Michigan, this is, I mean, you touched on this, right? But this is especially important when you look at things in the state of Michigan.
Yeah, okay. So you look at this first slide, right? You see that Mike Rogers is ahead, right, by 4 points. Well, I was interested because I couldn't think of another example where you actually had a Democratic candidate who was down at least 4 points. 4 points in a Senate poll in Michigan. And it turns out for this entire century, Abdul El-Sayed is the only one in a poll that meets CNN standards for publication. This is extremely, extremely, extremely unusual. Abdul El-Sayed breaking records in the ways that you don't want to. In fact, he is the first Democrat down by this much.
Hey, no problem, Dan.
Since
Thanks for being here.
Now,
listen. I already voted, Joe. I already voted. Early voting started on the 8th in Florida. I already voted for the primaries, but I think the teachers cheat the STAR test. Yeah, they do. They cheat. That seems over the top. It does, doesn't it?
We'll note, obviously, we have a campaign to go, and I think there are different ways you can look at this metric, right? So
the prediction markets still have him favored 58-42, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Hopefully Mike Rogers will win, and they can keep the Senate. They need to keep the Senate. That way, the Republicans need to hold a good, firm grasp on the Senate. That way, Trump can replace some Supreme Court justices in the next 2 years, coming 2 years, like right before he leaves office, just in case. Just in case. You don't like early voting? I'm one of those who go on election day. Nah, I go. I do early voting. I don't know, whatever. So Pramila Jayapal urged a student group to bring Hassan Piker to speak on campus after University of Washington canceled him. I encourage student groups to bring the commie Piker in. Oh, look, another terrorist. Anchor baby terrorist. Jayapal revealed that she has been directly pressuring University of Washington. Oh, really? Directly pressuring. Wouldn't that be against the law to be pressuring somebody to do something? Oh. Well, Thune might not get, if they could get a couple new guys in there, Thune might not get, might not be the leader of the Senate anymore. Just saying. Oh, yeah. Chelsea Handler, who said something about Roe v. Wade. That was crazy. She's like, oh, if this guy says this, it's going to be Roe v. Wade. And, yeah, it's crazy. So Jayapal, the chairman of the Communist Caucus, defended Piker's appearance. As a member of the Judiciary Committee, I've been clear that free speech is a constitutional right. Really? Huh. Really? Mm-hmm. I've been communicating my concerns about the cancellation. Why did she say anything about all the places that got canceled back when like Charlie Kirk was canceled from speaking places, or Crowder, or Ben Shapiro, or who else? Milo Yiannopoulos, Gavin McInnes. No, she never said shit. And when Muslims let non-Muslims into Mecca, then I'll believe them. Exactly. She needs to be deported. Yes, right now, immediately. I encourage student groups to hear from Piker to bring them there. Yes. If this had happened to Charlie Kirk, if this happened to Ben Shapiro, there would have been #1 news story on Fox. Motherfucker, it happened all the time, JFL, you stupid piece of crap. This is about JFL. She visited Diaz-Canal. Oh, really? Oh, I guess we'll have to look at that one. Oh, that's on YouTube. That will be the next story. So, yeah, so they canceled. There's been tons of right-wing people that got canceled over and over again, and JFL never said a fucking word. So, as far as I'm concerned, Republicans need to hold the Senate and the House, but people like Dune and others will ruin it. I really thought the rhinos would get on board, but it's just a dream. They're rat bastards. Yeah, they are. They are. Invasion of the Body Snatchers predicted all of this. They really did. JFL is such a good communist. Yes, she is. So, yeah, student groups. Yeah, student groups like the terrorists and stuff. They canceled an event with Hassan Piker. The university said review determined that organizing for this event did not meet the necessary level of rigor that the university hosted events usually have. Jaya is no pal of mine. That's right. Okay. So, and then here she is here. The congressman who met with Diaz-Canal calls for real negotiation with Cuba. Well, it's not a congressman. She's a congresswoman. Yeah, Jaya Pell. She's a good communist. You know, that says the U.S. should engage in real negotiation with Havana. Yeah, she wants communists. She wants to work with commies. She's got commie friends. Yeah, Stephen Crowder had 3 million subs on YouTube when he was demonetized. She said dick. That's right. Dick. Yeah, she wants us to give in to Cuba. The congressman visited Cuba in April, along with Congressman Jonathan Jackson, marking the first visit by U.S. lawmakers to the islands in 2026. So the government's mismanaged the crisis at the beginning of the embargo. Oh, okay. It's not worked. Oh, the embargo hasn't worked. Why? Because it's put pain on Cuba, and the Cuban people have suffered, not the Cuban government. Oh, but yet she's meeting with the Cuban government. Yeah, we know how good the Democrats are at losing thumb drives with the votes they don't like. Yeah. She met with families of political prisoners and dissidents, but yet she hangs out and is all smiley with the guy. There she is, all smiley and happy, meeting with the guy that's holding the political prison. Look at that look on her face. She's in love with the guy that has the political prisoners in jail. She's the fucking devil. The devil. Yeah, she got harsh criticism from Republican members of Congress because she was whitewashing the regime. Yes, she was. No, Marco Rubio said that every time they create a new mechanism to try to escape the noose, we'll simply tighten it. Good. I wish the noose would tighten around something else. Yeah. Ooh, look at this. So, Huntsville defense firm unveils a homegrown Firefly laser that zaps enemy drones in seconds. That looks like it might be fun. Anti-drone laser demonstration. Huntsville, Alabama. Huntsville, Alabama. Why don't you go back to Greenbow, Alabama? Greenbow, Alabama. Greenbow, Alabama. Okay. Bogey. This is crazy, man. I never seen anything like a laser like this. It can do stuff like this. Doesn't seem kind of crazy. Seems crazy to me. Then again, I'm just a guy here talking. How would I know? I wouldn't know much. I don't know much, but I love you. And things about to say. Oh. So, KBR, a Huntsville-based subsidiary Cord, demonstrated Firefly, a mobile high-energy laser weapon designed to detect, track, and destroy unmanned aircraft. Got to say penis, not dick. Okay. Matt Gutman accused of sexual assault, harassment, and bombshell lawsuit. Wow. Most engineers per capita. Okay, cool. Attendees are required to put a laser protection goggles before the test began. Axios reported the truck-mounted 20-kilowatt system disabled the quadcopter in under 4 seconds. This is a homegrown product. I think often we can look at what works in Huntsville, and you see Redstone, you see all the other traffic. Why does it say watch, but then there's nothing to watch?
Today, one Huntsville defense contractor showed us a new way to fight one of the biggest threats facing the military and civilians, drones. 48's Will Eldridge got an up-close look at Firefly.
Okay, it's. I guess we could watch it on YouTube is what it says.
Today, one Huntsville defense contractor showed us a new way to fight one of the biggest threats facing the military and civilians, drones. 48's Will Eldridge got an up-close look at Firefly and its anti-drone lasers. Take a look.
Drones like this one are key weapons on battlefields from Iran to Ukraine. Here in North Alabama, we got to see some of the technology designed to defend against threats like these from the skies. Before the demonstration, everyone had to put on special laser protection goggles. Then we got to see what the system sees. The system uses sensors and AI-assisted targeting to find and track a drone.
This is a homegrown product. You know, I think often we can look at, the work that happens in Huntsville. You see Redstone, you see, all the traffic and everything, and you kind of have to wonder, well, what's going on over there? Well, it's protecting the people, and this is one of the methods that we're doing it.
Last month, the FBI reported more than 700 suspicious drones were spotted and confiscated around World Cup matches this summer. David Zoller with KBR says that shows just how important it is to have eyes in the skies and identifying which drones are threats and which are not.
Ultimately, it is a defensive layered approach, so is this the only, is Firefly the only thing that's going to protect, our nation? No, it isn't, but it's a part of that approach.
And KBR says this advanced system just proves that anytime a new weapon enters warfare, the race is on to find a way to stop it.
I think more than anything is that, there is technology out there to make sure that the things that you're seeing on TV and the things that, ultimately you may have a concern for, there's technology out there to defend against it.
Reporting in Gunnersville, Will Eldridge, 48, on your side.
Well, that's pretty cool. So it's great that they're doing all this stuff. Well, everybody, we went 3.5 hours. We did not hit the second goal for the second additional hour, unfortunately, but it is what it is. I had a great time. I will be back tomorrow, Saturday night, to see you all and hang out, do more news stuff. I will send you guys over to see some other channels and do things and stuff like that with, raids and everything else. So we will be back tomorrow to see you all. I want to thank you all for being here. Please remind you all to hit the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And come back tomorrow for Jim to tell you the news.